Cookie cutters, God gave you a nose to breathe with so you can keep your mouth shut. Welcome to the podcast. Take a seat.
I feel like fucking a tranny.
Is that a Freudian slip?
So what if people are watching you, coward? Is that God's watching you 24/7 every day throughout history? You're worried about some cookie cutter watching you? And people like to say privacy. Privacy from what? I don't have any believe in privacy. I film myself taking a shit. My filthiest sexual exploits. My filthy... What do you mean privacy? You listen to me, Dale? You'll never be a champion thinking like that. The mailman's watching people, right, Brad? The peeping Tom of Delray Beach. Fuck the IRS. I don't even file my taxes anymore.
All right.
Wasn't he that guy, that artist? Was it?
Rockwell.
I'm sure he killed himself already. He's a fucking cookie cutter.
He probably lived off that one song for his whole life.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Surprised.
And all the cookie cutters flocked and went out and bought it.
That YouTube video is 64 million views.
Holy shit.
Jason would be jealous. Welcome, Synthol Marc, back to the podcast.
How's everyone doing?
Episode 36.
Synthol.
Why are you giggling?
The mailman's watching you. The mail.
You caught that. That was good.
The mailman's. So what are you afraid of?
Who's afraid?
This guy out singing this stupid song.
Oh, man.
So what's new, Mark?
Not much. Just withering away. Breaking down, getting older. It's a lot of fun.
It's funny you said that because when we were in Vegas, I was saying that to Kalora when we were walking into the expo. You weren't filming at the time, but I'm like, look at all of us. I said, this would have been great 20 years ago.
Exactly. You went.
We're all fucking, they're late 40s, I'm early 40, mid 40.
Well, you're 40 now, right?
I'm going to be in November.
18
yeah.
forever. Speak for yourself, mailman.
But you know what I'm saying. It would have been a lot. I mean, everybody's broken down at this point.
Bullshit. Dale Chance,
Not me. I feel
Dale
better than I
Chance
did
is
when I was
physically
25.
and mentally broken down.
I'm talking about these ogres.
And emotionally broken down. I'm not.
I never did or lifted like Lenny and Kalora did. You know, I mean, those.
Yeah, you did more. You were,
You had a lot of
you were
good
doing
lifts.
365 for 10.
Yeah, that's
like
good.
you had an empty bar.
But
On
I
an
mean,
incline, right?
Him and Kalora were freaks back in the day.
Yeah.
I was pretty strong for my size, but even now I'm feeling it. I'm 41.
Yeah.
And I was telling Andrew before I got tendonitis. I don't know if it's tendonitis or what. It's the same thing in both elbows. My back problem's not related to the lifting. That's my health issue. But my shoulder, I fucked that up about 3 years ago. It's never healed. So every time I go into the gym, it's where when I used to go in, I used to love it. And it used to be like a sanctuary. And now you go in and it's like I can't do what I used to do. And it's just depressing.
Yeah.
And now I'm in fucking Planet Fitness with all the...
And then the
Fucktards.
amount of lifting that you do, you're probably in pain for days
Yeah, I
after.
mean, that's the thing. It's
Yeah.
like I laid off from my elbows a good 3 weeks, and I went back in and I worked out for a week, and all of it came back. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I was telling Andrew, I'm taking turmeric, and that seems to help. But, when I go back into the gym, is it going to flare up again? So,
And I have bad news for you, Mark. The older you get, it does not get better.
And the old timers
It just
used to
gets
tell me
worse.
that, in the gym, all the guys in their 60s, 70s. Years ago. Remember the Mike, the fireman Mike? Do you remember him?
Yeah.
He was in Vietnam.
The fire chief,
Yeah.
I still see him.
And he used to tell me all the time, he's like, you're going to pay for that later, buddy. You're going to pay for that, and I'm paying for it now.
Yeah, Mike, I saw him, his grandson plays baseball. My son, yeah. I've seen him at
He's
the
getting
games.
close to 70 now.
Yeah. He's still in great shape.
Yeah,
But
he's
then
a
again,
nice guy.
you pay worse for not training and not eating correctly. And
That's true, too. I
think a lot of people not taking enough protein and water, which is the most overlooked health aspects. And surprisingly, in this day and age, people still don't do it. Lack of protein and dehydration for men, women, children, and the elderly.
You're right about that. I got to drink more water because after I work out, I cramp like crazy.
Do you get those real painful ones where you have to extend your... Yeah, I've got it too.
And you're eating and you have a lot of muscle
I think
tissue.
I drink enough water, but I obviously don't. There's
None of
no
us
reason
drink
for me
enough.
to. There's no reason for me to be cramping like that. It's just stupidity, actually.
Well, my problem too, like when I get in these ruts, because of whatever injury, whatever, I have a tendency to shut it all down. I don't eat properly. I go off all the supplements.
That's understandable.
And I don't think that's a good thing to do. You should always maintain, like Lenny was saying. But it's like, I was also telling Andrew too, it's like I don't know if I'm getting to the point where I just don't give a fuck anymore. I don't care. I just don't care.
I've noticed certain foods, and I'm sure Andrew, being the closest in age to me at this table, you like them and you look forward to eating them, and so it's like I've eaten this so many times before. It's like I need something new, and it's just not there.
Not only that, but my favorite thing to eat is spicy food. And unfortunately, my stomach, I can't tolerate spicy food anymore. Buffalo sauce, jalapeno peppers.
Yeah, I had some problems over the weekend with Publix. Their hot wings are delicious.
Does it mess up your lower stomach or your upper stomach?
For me, the whole damn thing.
Everything?
Lower, upper, middle.
Asshole.
It's a shame because I love it. Oh, yeah, the next
Me
morning.
too. I used to love hot food. I can't eat it anymore
I
either
never
because I
could.
get such bad heartburn. I can't. I have medication for it, but I'd rather not take the
I
medication.
don't like forgetting people's names, and the short-term memory loss sucks. You know, see someone you've seen a few months ago. And
Gee, what a depressing start to the podcast. Jesus Christ, this is
Well,
awful.
we saw a guy at the gym today with the glasses.
This is
I
awful.
can't remember his fucking
it's the
name.
truth, though.
I know.
He came to the Ruby and shit. I forget his name. I could not remember.
Great
his
shape,
fucking-
real nice guy.
Yeah, real cool.
Well, the moral of the story is enjoy your youth while it lasts.
Yeah, no shit. You hear that, everyone? Enjoy
I
it.
feel better now than I did when I was younger, so I can't say that. I mean, I have a
It's
little
true.
different pains here and there.
And you honestly, I don't see you guys as often. This is the best I've seen you look
Oh, I'm in the
since
best
I've
shape
known
I've
you.
ever been, yeah.
So
Yeah,
you're doing
drugs.
something right.
Actually, I started watching your old Misfit videos, Andrew. Very funny, it's way different. I mean, I see the difference in them, you know, how it started out. And
He was telling me about the ones that he was watching with the music in the beginning. I said, oh, yeah, when you do
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
Boy, that's
It's copyrighted. That's why I don't use it anymore. When I first started doing the videos, that music wasn't copyrighted. It's from the 1978 movie Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it's when all the zombies are walking in the mall.
No kidding.
Yeah.
They remade that not too long ago.
Yeah, with Ving Rhames,
yeah.
right? It actually was a pretty decent remake.
It was.
Not as good as the original.
That was Zack Snyder did it, I think.
Yep. And then about 20 or 30 episodes into it, or something like that, they started copywriting. YouTube copyrighted that song, so I couldn't use it as an intro anymore. So I just went right into the videos.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
YouTube's a disaster.
Yeah, it's
They're
going
going
down
down.
now.
They are so bad.
Instagram is where it's at now.
Yep.
It's all Silicon Valley. It's just what they're doing is terrible. They are censoring people. If it's not just right or left, it's dissenters. If you don't agree with what they put out, you know, their message, they're just shutting you down. And it's fucking bullshit.
That's why a lot of the shit that we film we can't put up because it's just going to get fucking flagged. and
flagged,
taken.
yeah.
They'll delete the fucking channel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They would.
It sucks, but that's
Especially
the way it
since
is.
it's getting bigger.
And a lot of these people
Yeah.
don't understand that. They're like, "Oh, put up this, put up." Yeah, but if we do, the channel will get fucking deleted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to be somewhat smart about it.
And then you get all these kids, you know, what they do is they go out and they fucking buy a car or something, like an exotic car, they lease it, and they start a channel and based on the car, and they get huge.
Yeah.
They literally live off of the profits of YouTube, you know? It's fucking
Yeah, the dumbest shit makes money.
kids playing video games. You have kids that
Yeah.
play games and comment.
Jason was doing that.
Have them
My
comment.
son plays that fucking Fortnite shit. He's got the headphones on, all different.
You need to put a stop to that, Brad.
No, he's active though. He plays ball. I mean, that's just when he's
Yeah, I guess it's better than going smoking dope and drinking.
exactly. Exactly.
Skateboarding.
He's a way different kid than I
Hanging
was.
out in the streets like you did.
Exactly. No, hey.
I haven't seen
It's
his
the
son.
truth.
Is he taller than you?
Yeah, he's
I
taller.
see
than
somebody
me
a big dude.
Yeah. Bigger feet, bigger hands,
That's cool.
strong, broad
Not a
shoulders.
bigger head, though.
No.
How old
I
is
No,
thought-
he didn't inherit the big
I
head.
thought you were going to say something else, Lenny.
I was, you know,
He's not going to talk
just,
like that.
just between, I've talked to Brad before, I really think he should get on some Anavar.
How old is he?
I think that would be,
He's going to be 17.
Oh, you mean the kid get on?
and any maniacs out
The end
there,
of October, he's 17.
or any of you teenage maniacs, if you want to take something, take Anavar. Because you have enough androgen and testosterone in your system. When you add Anavar, there's anecdotal reports your penis can get bigger. If you're a teenager, it'll build the bone. It's
It's too late for me.
Build a bone.
It's a great
Anavar builds the
great
bone.
thing to take for teenagers.
Yeah.
And it could help you get, it's not like it's, you know, some,
I'm not giving my son steroids.
but I'm just saying, well, Anavar.
I'm not giving him that.
Well, he could be,
He wouldn't take it anyway.
shove it,
He's-
break it up and put it in his
He's
food.
not going to do
I mean, it could be the point of actually growing a few inches, Because the androgens probably
right
will
on-
stunt your
he's-
growth.
He's right on track. He's doing fine.
Brad, you got to shoot for the stars.
What's
You have
fucked
one
up
chance.
though is when we were kids, we were encouraged to go outside and play.
Absolutely.
Now the kids are encouraged to stay in, get on the video games, and
rock.
make fucking money. I saw on the cover of ESPN.
become better killers.
Listen, last week on the cover of ESPN magazine was the Kid Ninja, the video game
Never
player.
heard of her.
Right. Neither did I. I read the fucking article. $500,000 a month.
What?
Are you fucking kidding me? For playing video games? I'm not shitting you.
Dude, we need to start playing games.
Zach, well, what do you think all the kids are thinking now?
Think about actually,
It's
that
fucking
wouldn't
ridiculous.
be a bad idea. The Misfits playing one of those games.
We'd be
You
so
might-
bad at it.
You might get people to tune in to watch you guys play the game.
You know, Jason already does that.
Yeah, I remember last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying he was doing.
But they hate him so much. He can never make a living doing it.
Yeah, but the thing is, people have a way to interact with you guys
Yeah.
playing a game. I don't know shit about
We're
games.
we're too lazy to do anything
We're
like that.
we're definitely technologically behind the curve when it comes to all that stuff. I mean, we just
who
are.
set
We
this-
just are.
Who set this stuff up for Jason? Didn't some weirdo?
Someone reached out to me.
No fan. I actually met him at LA
Yeah.
Fitness. He was a cool
Oh,
guy.
yeah,
actually, yeah.
Sorry about that.
But then
being an honest
he,
person.
no. But then he came up to me. He's like, I set that up for him, and he didn't fucking stop bothering me for a while. He's like, I don't have all that time, but he did it just to help him out. And then it was.
We get
it's a
messages
process.
all the time asking us to be more interactive and use different platforms. We
gotta wanna
We
do
don't
it.
do it.
Yeah, it's mainly just Instagram. I do some Snapchatting shit, but for the most part, it's Instagram now. And this, when Leonard can get his fucking dumbass up to come do it.
That's true.
Are you still doing those shout out things?
Yeah.
Yeah, the book cameo. Those are good too. They're funny as shit when he does them.
They're basically wrestling promos for you, right?
Right. Speaking of, plan on going to Orlando for the NWO reunion.
There is an NW. Where?
It's
October
basically going to be
27th.
Hogan, Kevin Nash, and
One of those guys.
Scott Hall.
That's bad.
They've been saying that about everybody, but they're still there, including Ric Flair.
The guy that was Razor Ramon. What's his name?
Scott
He
Hall.
was the one that was.
Yeah,
fucked up for a
McLeod set
while.
up. He said the meet and greet is between 6 and 8 p.m. that day. So, who's that, Jay?
No, it's a spam call. Second time I got it today.
So where are you guys mostly working out now? At the Boca?
I'm doing a lot of stuff on my
Boca
patio.
LA Fitness.
LA Fitness. I'm sorry.
Thanks to Jay
one on
Masters
your
for letting
mouth.
me
Where-
his,
where you going?
on my patio.
Oh yeah, the power rack.
I'll be able to do half of my deadlift workout, your deadlifts, rack deadlifts, rows,
You're
shrugs.
about dead after he does it. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
and
so
then
fucking hot out there and
squats.
buggy and shit.
You know, I just go in and lean on the washing machine when I.
One more month, it'll be great to work out there. Just got to wait it out.
Right.
Yeah, I plan on getting a bench and put it in there, and it's going to be hard to flat bench, maybe some incline.
That power rack is better than anything in fucking Planet
That's
Fitness.
the thing. Well, I mean,
No
we
shit.
have Planet Fitness right down the street, so you could do all your heavy lifting.
Yeah.
That's
at
what
your
he
house,
does.
and then do all the isolation shit over there.
But it's. I'll
was
say
actually
right now,
thinking of trying
Mark.
something.
I think the Smith machine is dangerous. I think you're better off doing those other kind of press machines they have, as long as they're heavy enough,
Why? What makes
or
you
even
say
a
that?
hammer strength. Just the way that linear. You see, with the hammer strength, it's designed to go the way your body moves. And the Smith machine, you're locked in place. Very dangerous. Your body
good
cannot
point.
adjust. And during the ACES reiterated as well, saying that's a Smith machine will wreck your body. It's not good to squat on either.
Too late.
Yeah, I just can't be in there. There's no once
There's
I
a lot
walk
of
in that
nice-
gym, there's no motivation.
What a nice looking
Yeah,
stands
I just see
in there.
the
It is.
equipment.
It is.
You see all the wasted space
about
where
them
they
women
could
in
have
there?
good equipment.
Some women in there.
Well, that
Yeah,
place,
depending on the
that
time you
place
go.
in Delray too used to be the old world
Yeah.
gym.
So
you
you-
walk in there
right.
you're like, oh man,
What could be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a regression. We've talked about it before, of society. There was an old power lifter. I was talking to
Listen,
briefly.
You know what fucked up gyms is the classic physique shit. That once that came into play,
I
that's
think-
when all these fucking LA Fitnesses and
I think
Planet
it's the
Fitnesses came.
opposite.
You think?
The gyms caused classic physique.
Oh, okay.
The watered down, pretty boy scenes in the gyms caused classic physique. It wasn't caused by anybody dying. It's caused by the overall, do you ever see any physically outstanding freaks on the NFL field? I haven't seen any all fucking weekend. I see nothing but flabby arm, childish just ready to score so you can act like a 2-year-old on the field. It's disgusting.
Well, you can't even hit a quarterback now if you land on it. I tell you, they are destroying the game from.
Well, Vince McMahon, I think
they want the scoring, man. They want the high score.
They'll give it a go again and again. Legends football. If you haven't seen it, Google it.
Well, I thought they were starting another football league.
Legends football. What the hell is that?
That's lingerie football. That's what they call it.
Really?
Check it out. Google it. I mean, they're pulling their pants down, and I give credit. Those girls are wearing basically panties, and they're hitting, and they're, I see more hard hits than I do from the men. Check it out, maniacs. It's the best kept secret. I don't know why that doesn't take off.
That's the whole
The
plan.
feminists, they don't like it. But talk about tits and ass. There's ass forever out there.
Legends football. I never heard of it.
They changed the name. Google it.
What it used to be.
Lingerie football. But I mean, girls are getting tackled. Their panties pulled down. I mean, they're falling on their ass.
In South Florida.
Well, the question is, would anyone watch it if they weren't wearing lingerie?
Well, you see a halfway decent. They're hitting hard. The skill level of these girls are good.
Full pads.
They're catching. They wear a helmet. They shoulder pads, knee pads. But strangely enough, they're wearing a freaking panties. And to me, they're hitting.
I thought that was like a Super Bowl halftime gimmick.
No, there's games going on, and just Google the footage. That'll make your dick hard as a rock. I guarantee it.
Unless I go back on test.
I want to see them fucking each other, not fighting each other.
Well, they're piling up, and it's very, very interesting. And they're, like I said, the skill levels gotten a lot better. They're catching. They're throwing good passes.
It's interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people boycotting the NFL now.
It's just
a lot of old timers that I talk to refuse to fucking watch it.
They're destroying the game. It's going to be glorified 7-on-7 at some point.
It's glorified porch monkey. I still see the mops hanging out of the heads, out of the helmets. I see the dancing around the total.
Talking about dreadlocks.
You want it to be the no fun league? They're having fun. Why can't you celebrate a touchdown?
Why do you have to act the same? When they, at the end of the game, when they talk to these kooks, why do they talk the same?
Because they all come out of our wonderful college system.
There you go. Where they don't get any
cookie cutters. There's
They just get passed right through.
I mean, if you look at post-game interviews in the 70s and 80s, Len Swan, they talk professionally. Drew Pearson.
Yeah.
Well, Harvey Martin, all those guys.
Now it's their fucking, what kind of crazy outfit can they wear after the fucking game?
Or now they all, whenever they make a play, they all pose for a picture.
Oh, and jumping up and down. And
dude, you make one play all game.
Well, that's what bugs me is when someone does something after getting a first down. They'll point downfield.
Like, come on, man. You finally score. And you
get back to the fucking huddle.
That's what I'm sick
by
of.
40 points and you're dancing.
Yeah, now you're excited. Exactly.
And that other porch monkey flipping off his team because he got hurt. Get the fuck off the field.
Was he flipping off his team or the crowd?
Flipping off his own team.
His bench.
Shit.
His own bench.
He wanted to be traded.
Right.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that's the reason why. I thought he was flipping off the fans. Oh, shit.
I can't blame the guy because he wanted to be out of there.
Well, there's other ways to handle it.
Yeah, I agree. But
it didn't even look like anything. That's freak accident.
Fractured his lower leg.
I hope Le'Veon Bell gets his lower leg fractured
back, right?
to where he can never play again. Someone needs to put him on a...
The other kid's pretty good anyway, that guy.
He's...
He had cancer or some shit.
Listen, when you got a good offensive line... That's what you need.
You're the Giants.
Right. Exactly. Why do you think Eli's running for his life every play?
Imagine if Barkley was on a good team.
Eli should be in the shotgun on every play. He should never be under center. He has no time.
They're terrible.
No fucking time.
Terrible.
You got a great running back, a great receiver, actually a good tight end too.
Man, they can't do anything.
What the fuck is that?
I mean, they're all blaming Eli. I mean, he's getting older. He may be... he's like a boxer, A boxer takes one too many hits throughout his career.
Yeah, but when you got less than 3 seconds to throw the fucking ball, I mean...
But that is what it is.
You notice how Brad keeps saying you. Let's talk about Brad's Miami Dolphins. What do you think about that game on Sunday?
That's pretty bad.
That was
They're 3-1 now. I mean, you're still 3-1. Everyone has bad teams.
Wait till they start playing real teams like they did.
Who's they play next?
They're playing
They
Cincinnati.
almost lost to the Oakland Raiders.
Fucking roll them too.
Cincinnati's all right. What do you got there? Something good?
Yeah, water.
Yeah, water.
None of the other kind of water, but I'll have that soon.
What kind of water is that?
The magic water.
The good old GHB.
Oh, the good. Okay, yeah. I remember the guy who used to get that from in the gym. The son of the unnamed.
Now it's so
Degenerate.
now it's so scarce.
Wherever he
It's
is.
fucking expensive, man. Yeah, I mean, come on.
It's worth it, though. It's the best feeling. Best feeling when it hits you.
For
You get a good...
for 500 a liter, I don't know.
Yeah, that'll last you forever. You only take them. Fill this up.
Yeah,
That's all you need. Less.
the cap. Yeah, scoop. They used to call them scoops.
Is that what you,
That's when it was 200 a
is that what
gallon.
you used when you asked out?
Well, I didn't do that. I went
Oh, you didn't
probably
fill it
like
out?
4 scoops.
I remember when you told me those.
And the bad thing is you don't get to feel you feel it coming on, but it's so strong, then you're out cold. You're actually, did some research, you're actually in a coma to where your heart rate and it slows down because you can't remember anything. You're actually in a coma, temporary coma.
I could use one of them
And
go to
it's very
sleep.
weird.
I just gotta stand.
You don't remember anything, total amnesia.
Back's acting up.
Just sitting.
You want a pillow for your?
No. It's part of life.
Episode 36, and Mark can't sit for more than 10 fucking minutes.
That's what happens when your ass crack is all scar tissue.
Leonard knows about scar tissued ass cracks. How many assholes did you lick that are filled with scar tissue?
Oh, God.
To tell you the truth, all of them are pretty good.
He's
I mean,
actually gonna give us. All of them are good.
Play
All
by play.
buttholes are good.
no hemorrhoids, clean, especially them 10-10-10s. They're so meticulous about that. The last thing you want to know is you're dirty. But like they said, the do-it-yourself method is to get a liter bottle of soda and fill it with water and keep squirting it up your ass and let it drain out.
Well, it's like
like
don't you want a hamburger to taste like a hamburger, or do you want it to taste like soap and water?
You want an Asperger to taste like an Asperger?
That's true. Well,
Speaking,
that's what I go to the Haitian women for. But then again, they're clean too. So what, whatever. I like the sweaty.
Whatever.
I'll take the sweaty hairy armpits.
You should go to, it was on Drudge Report. I think they got that Folsom Street party in San Francisco.
Oh,
You should see about
man.
going there.
I saw footage of that. This fat old man looked like Santa Claus
It's like the fat white liberal
laying on the street naked.
weirdos. That was fucking front page.
yeah, Leonard in San Francisco. That's a fucking great
You
idea.
would probably maybe get Captain.
Then we go to the
Little League,
Tenderloin, it's
when,
called.
when you're the main guy, the main draw of a parade, you're on the
Grand
float.
Marshal.
Yes. You might get Grand Marshal of that thing.
Maybe the Atlanta Tranny Parade.
Grand Marshal at the Folsom
There's a-
Pride Parade.
Is that real?
There's a tranny parade in Atlanta.
Atlanta, yeah.
It's real serious.
Atlanta's a big 10-10-10.
Road trip. When is it?
Yeah, we got to find out.
Rent a RV.
Maybe after the October 27th meet and greet, we'll just shoot right up to Atlanta.
Was it where is the meet and greet at? The Orlando Convention Center?
I don't know, but
That's a good question.
I'm wondering.
Winston Churchill knows.
I'm wondering if. Well, I don't want to say this on camera, but
You're not
thoughts
on
cross
camera.
my mind
You're on a
to
microphone.
make it a lot better. But we'll see. Maybe we can get Adam McLeod to pitch to the promoter.
Why don't you challenge the Hulkster to a fight?
It's got to be under 30 seconds or Leonard drops dead.
Call in Jay, and you gotta be a tag team.
Leonard would bounce off the ropes one time and be out of fucking breath.
You should go. I went to school up in the area for audio engineering where they have the NXT live shit. After I left, they brought in a whole live production course, and they used they put on shows for the WWE. That next event that takes place up there at that Full Sail school, and you go up there, fucking say, yeah, I'm here to wrestle. I'm here to kick your ass.
Yeah, let's see you do some. I usually have you jog around the neighborhood in the heat, and then throw you in the ring and have you do some. Yeah, they'll wind you to death. Rightfully so.
You saw the Ric Flair thing when he talked about.
Yeah, well, I was at a school too. It was no picnic.
No, they say it's been brutal, brutal.
Yeah, want to see if you have what it takes. If you want it bad enough.
Well, those fucking guys, what do they go? every week they wrestle in a different fucking
Yeah, they're on
city.
the road.
That's
like,
a
Sometimes
tough
almost
life.
every
Yeah.
night.
That is a fucking tough life.
that's why all of them wound up on fucking pain pills
Yeah.
and dying from that shit. It was mostly the pain pills that were killing
And you
those
know,
guys,
Vince-
not the other drugs.
You're not wrestling. You're not getting paid. There's no guarantees.
Yeah, and then when you branch out to do movies and shit, he's getting a cut of that
Absolutely.
too. That
'Cause he's got
motherfucker knows,
name.
man. I mean, how long do you think it took The Rock to get from under him? Or he might still get a kickback from The Rock.
Hey.
Who knows?
Well, they own their own movie studio, I believe. A lot of those movies they make, the WWE movies, like the Marine and all that shit,
Oh, no shit.
they own a movie studio.
Oh, wow. I know.
So they branched out that way. That dude's worth. They're worth so much friggin' money. The McMahons.
That's why so many people hate him.
Yeah, but it's not like they. I mean, he was a shrewd businessman, but he built it. It is what it is. I'm sure he cut some people out. And in order to make it in business, you're not a.
You gotta
can't be
fuck
nice.
somebody. Yeah,
You gotta
exactly.
cut throat or you get eaten alive.
All those guys aren't in that position by not fucking someone over.
Of course. Even guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger, all those people, you think they're angels? Fuck that.
There's definitely not everybody that they've come across have said, "Oh, that's a great guy." Bullshit. All your politicians too. They've
they're all
all
scum.
fucked someone to get to where they are.
Pretty much, unless you come out like that stupid cunt out of New York, that Ocasio-Cortez, a fucking socialist. She's just a commie. I mean, you listen to her talk, she's clueless. She doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. All she does is, she'll come into your house and tell everyone how she's going to give away all your shit. That's all it is. That's all it is. We're going to give you free.
You don't
free
need
that,
this.
free that. And that's one thing I got to touch on. I know I may bore some of you,
No, they love it.
but coming up here in just about a month, and especially for Florida, and there are other states as well. But there's a guy running in Florida for governor. Could be the nicest guy in the world. I don't give a shit what he is, what he looks like, who he fucks, or what he doesn't fuck. The dude is a fucking socialist.
Which one?
Gillum, Andrew Gillum. He's a Bernie Sanders. If Floridians vote this fucking clown in, the things that make this state good
All
to do
the feminists
business
love
in,
him too.
this guy could be the nicest guy in the world. You might want to have a beer with him, whatever. That's not the point. They've made everything into identity politics now, to where it's what you look like and what you do. It's the guy's policies that are shit. He's going to raise your fucking taxes through the roof, everybody. He wants to give Medicaid or whatever, Medicare for all in Florida, just free. He wants to fucking take away my right to defend myself by getting rid of, what's that gun law? Stand your ground. He's getting rid of that. He wants to do away with fucking ICE. This is all his platform. This isn't me talking. This is his platform. So if there's anybody out there in Florida, vote for the other guy. It's DeSantis.
But that's why he's never going to get elected in a million years.
Right. I was
you
just
gotta-
gonna-
you don't
I
even
was
have
just
to
going to
worry
say, if
about it.
that's all true,
Yeah, but it
they
doesn't
won't.
matter. You got brain dead. It doesn't matter. So many people are done. They just vote party lines. They don't care. You got this other clown. He's running for senator in Texas. Beto O'Rourke. He's another socialist piece of shit. The guy, his name's Robert O'Rourke. He goes by Beto, so he can, get in Spanish voters. The dude is a total identity politician.
Cheater.
He's a fucking scumbag. It's just, you cannot vote these people in. They're against everything. Well, you can vote them in if you're a socialist and you believe in collectivism. If you're an individual and believe in individual liberty and freedom and all that shit, just vote for the other guy. It's like the lesser of two evils. It's not like I support any of these other people, but these other guys, you vote these fucking people in and it's going to be nothing but pain for the majority, especially for the, for the takers. It's great.
Well, exactly.
And that's where they get their votes from, but that's just on my mind. Sorry to bother anybody out there, but if you have an open mind and you are going to be voting in these states, just vote for the non-socialist, please. That's my message of the day.
Well, it just depends on anybody's situation, but you have to do your research before you vote. That's the problem.
Most people are so clueless; they don't.
Oh, but you know what? It's right at your fingertips, even in your
Yeah.
phone. All you have to do is Google that person's name.
Well, no, don't Google anything.
No.
Google. They don't use Google to search anything. Google has an algorithm that puts If you are conservative or libertarian or you lean right, go look. You can type in any name of any conservative. At the top of that search list will be all of the negative stories. Anything positive will be pages and pages down the line. Google is a fascist organization. They are. Google is a fascist organization. They believe in their way, far left, and anybody that's in the center is Hitler to them. You understand what I'm saying? They are far. I mean, Twitter, Google, all the social media fucking companies are as far left as it gets. And
When the hell?
I could go into that. I don't want to bore anyone, but
Not boring. Go ahead, speak.
all of these social media companies were all funded and helped along the way by DARPA, CIA. These social media programs were meant to control people's thoughts. And I've read so much shit through the years, and people talk conspiracy, all that crap. There's no conspiracy when Julian Assange, when he founded WikiLeaks, and all these stories that people thought were true, and the information's plain as day because of a guy like Julian Assange. It's all their emails, it's their classified documents, it's everything. I mean, then you have whistleblowers along the way, but those companies are all as fascist as it gets, and that Trump hasn't done anything about it pisses me off because, the thing is, though, you break those companies up, the the stock market will probably tank. So he has that as well to worry about. But those companies are fucking terrible. And anyone that's still on Facebook, they sell your fucking information, man.
I know.
I
very rarely go on it. But.
Facebook, this is all unclassified as well. Before Facebook was founded, there was a program called LifeLog. Okay, it was started by the CIA. It was brought up. The Senate and the House voted against it. They thought it was way too intrusive. The day that happened was the day Facebook was started and founded. Facebook got money from InQtel, which was a venture capital firm of the CIA. The CIA is as bad as it gets. I've read tons of books on ex-whistleblowers and all the classified information. It's anybody. I am not an intelligent person. I'm not good at math. I'm not good at a lot of that shit, but I can read information, take it in, and come to a conclusion because I don't side either side. I'm just a libertarian, and it's just, there's so much shit out there. And sorry to ramble, this fucking country Donald Trump is the last American president we're going to get. Because even when he's gone, there's nothing in the future that's going to resemble an American that wants America to do well. And this is your one fucking chance to fix some of these problems. And I've told people before, Donald Trump is probably just a speed bump on the road to hell. And because of various reasons, I didn't have kids, health problems, other bullshit. It just didn't work out. And now when I see what's going on, I'm glad I don't have kids because it's only going to get worse. At some point, this country will turn full socialist. There's no doubt in my mind it's going to happen. And then you will have nothing. It will be over for the country. And I guess I could go on for hours and hours, but I don't want to bore anybody else. Probably sleeping out there. But the bottom line of the story is, do not vote for Gilliam. He is a socialist. He will wreck this fucking state. Do not vote for Beto O'Rourke. He's another socialist. Try to just do a little background search.
Well, where would you suggest they go for a background search?
Just look at their own platforms. Just look at what they're talking about.
But not Google.
You can Google stuff, sure, but most of the stuff you're going to get is what Google.
What search engine do you use?
There's one called DuckDuckGo, which is pretty good. They don't spy on you like Google does. There's a couple others, but DuckDuckGo is pretty good. But
we're getting right now. The phone is off. We're getting spied on right now. They can log in right now and listen to every fucking thing you're saying. There
was a thing not too long ago. It was during, I think, the NBA playoffs. Or was it last year's college playoffs football? The fucking ESPN themselves are like, yeah, we got our new program now where we can look in on our fans via our new TV's app, blah, blah, blah. And you could literally, through these people's TV, you could see the people watching the fucking game.
Yeah, we have no fucking privacy. People that think you have privacy.
That's what Edward Snowden broke, man.
I'll be talking about something and my phone's off. And the next day or the same day, I'll get emails about that I've never fucking seen
all
before.
Of your information, all of your texts, all of your emails.
I'm not shitting you.
It goes to a fucking big bank, an NSA bank, and it all gets fucking stored there.
Yeah.
It's unfucking real.
You hear that, Brad? When you're sticking your fingers up your ass watching the Dolphin game, people can see this.
I would have rather stuck my fingers up my ass and watched that shit fucking last week. What a joke.
They'll bounce back.
When Mark talks about socialism, you're looking at
it's a cancer.
living in a public housing project with the lowest filthy animals. And you're doing that because the system said that's where you're going to live.
And they're living better than you, fuck.
Nancy Pelosi
Yeah.
won't like you saying that.
And they're going to be screaming and yelling, and there's nowhere to turn to. You're going to be told you have to put up with it. Or I'll put you in a jail, even worse. You'll be kicked and stomped and screamed at and spit on, because of the color of your skin. It's coming.
Well, socialism is the government choice of the globalists. It's not something that's just popped up during Donald Trump. It's been going on for well over 100 years. And, you could just historically, when you read about it, there's so many books you could read. Tragedy and Hope. It's like 1,000 pages. It's boring as shit, but it spills the beans on this history of all of it. There's a bunch of books that have been written since about it, and it's just all factual. Just lays it all out, and it goes through the decades of what happened. It literally is. It's not really left versus right. That doesn't really exist anymore in this country. It is globalist against nationalists. That's really what it is. You had for fucking decades. If you look at all these organizations, the UN, the IMF, the whole banking scheme, all of it, it's all of the same families throughout the last 100 years. And it's their bloodlines that created all these fucking
Rockefellers.
Yes, the Rockefellers are as bad as it gets. The Morgans, of course, the Rothschilds. This is not conspiracy theory. It's fact.
I mean, they're going to dip into people's savings,
That's
their
why they want to go to
possessions,
digital
their
currency.
pensions.
Yep. They don't want cash. If they had it their way, there'd be no
Once
cash.
they go to a full digital currency, they got you by the balls. It's like the thing they're doing in China with a social credit score that is coming here. This is what Google's such a great fucking company. They are the ones that are responsible for fucking completely, just destroying the people of China under that fucking communist flag of China. They are the ones that are making it happen with their bullshit. Social scores are coming. Like if you don't, in China, the way it works, if you don't agree, they have a social score on what you do and, about like your social media, what you talk about. And if they don't like what's going on in your life, they can stop you from traveling. They can stop you from doing business. And this is
Stop you from smoking
shit.
dope.
It's all stuff in the news. It's all stuff that's been in the news. It is horrible to think. It's like a dystopian movie, and it's all coming true. But most people don't care. They live their own lives, but it's really a problem, and it's happening, and it's even, they talk about all this bullshit with AI. You see all the commercials now during AI is great. You got some hip hop artists on AI. These are the people, all of these people are the ones that are going to be controlling humanity. Why do we have to have all this shit? Why do we need robots? But they are the ones forcing us into this. Oh, you know what? You know that job you had all your life? We're going to have a robot do it. Fuck you. You don't need it. That's why all these people, all these big tech companies, you've heard it, they all talk about having a living wage or like something like that. Oh, well, we'll give you $12,000 a year. You're going to live in a cave, maybe eat one meal a week, but we'll take all your fucking money. This shit is happening, and it's just the media. They're all part of all the media is propaganda. Every single one, including Fox.
You won't be able to defend yourself.
No, they want to do away with that. That is the Second Amendment. I know people are guns. That is the only thing that is stopping the full tyranny of these people, because they goddamn well know millions of armed citizens could make a serious dent in their plans. That's why, if you believe in the Second Amendment like I do, you cannot give an inch on any of it, because then they will use that to keep digging and digging. It's all done gradually, just like socialism in this country. It's been done gradually. It's been, it's a gradualization of it throughout, starting mostly with FDR.
You hear that, Brad? I never saw a gun sticking out of your pocket. I never saw guns in your apartment, in your car, in your postal truck. You better get with the program there, buddy. And start
I haven't
packing.
had one in 39 years.
You better
I
start
don't need one
packing
now.
some heat.
That was crazy, man. What happened? I can't fucking believe that.
It's so random.
It didn't even bother him. He could have been killed.
It bothered me, but what
Did
am
it
I going to
shake you
do?
at all? Like, do you like, Jesus Christ, I could have been...
Oh, for about 30 minutes, I was a little fucked up from it. Because I was thinking,
Hell,
like,
guys
Jesus
get-
Christ, I could have just been killed. But
Fire at him in freaking Iraq, sitting in a tent, and they carry that the rest of their life. You
Oh,
get a government
I could have
check.
went out on stress leave.
Shit,
for the
30
last
minutes?
6 months.
That's
if I
pretty
wanted.
good.
Oh, yeah.
For all those
100%.
PTSD pussies out there.
I could have definitely went on. I still did my route that day. I'm like, fuck it.
You hear that, you PTSD pussies?
I mean, if I knew they were after
Shell
me,
shock.
if I knew they were after me, that'd be one thing. But they weren't. It was.
How do you know they're not after you? I heard you're a major player.
Yeah,
It
right.
used to be what was it? It was shell shock, but it was something else in World War One, or was it shell shock in World War One?
Yeah.
There was a couple of terms. I think George Carlin touched on that years ago. One of his stand-ups talking about.
He's the best.
He was awesome. I wish he was alive today to
No
talk about
shit.
this shit show going on.
Oh
now.
my god.
They're going to stop at nothing to bring Trump down. You watch. They're going to get him on something. He should have fired Mueller months ago. There was just a report out today. I'm sure you've heard about Uranium One. You know what that's all about, how Hillary Clinton, she sold away uranium to Russia. Anyway, they have over 37 different documents that are still classified on that deal that they will not declassify. And everyone's involved in that. You had Hillary, you had Obama, and you had Mueller, who was a part of that fucking deal as well. All Trump has to do, and he's a man in a den of vipers. He has no one around him. All he's got to do is declassify that, and it would destroy all of them. Declassify it, Trump. Just declassify all of it. The other thing he needs to do, I'm sure you've heard about the FISA warrant that they got to spy on him to begin with this whole Russian bullshit. He keeps trying to get these declassified, but they keep stalling in the Justice Department. They keep stalling. You heard that guy Rosenstein. He's a deep state shill. He should have been fired a fucking year ago. It's just, I do a lot of reading, and I read all sides. I read left, center, right, because you got to know your enemies.
Who's your favorite leftist?
None. A dead one.
None of them you could...
No, I mean, you see, they've stolen the term. Liberals are good. Liberals are like Thomas Jefferson. They're real liberals. They've stolen that term. They are progressive socialist communists. They're collectivists. The Cortezes, the fucking Bernie Sanders, the Gillums, and the Beto O'Rourke's, the assholes. Like, they are far left. They're not liberals. They're far left socialists. Liberals are good. I have no problem. Like JFK. If JFK was alive today, he'd be a moderate Republican. You know, it's just... There's so many things at play. Like I
Like
said,
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
what they're doing now with this, and I think I told you this last time, this whole thing with young children and getting them to say, oh, I'm a boy or a girl, eventually the reason they want to do that is so then they can have these young children say it's okay to have sex with
Yes.
this man or this woman. That's where they're going with this.
Finally, someone had the guts to say it.
That's what the whole thing is
Thank
for.
you, Mark.
No, it's the truth. I've read their own words. This is out of Salon.
You believe in the child sex orgies over...
Hell no.
Oh, tell them about that.
You don't believe in
shit.
that? You don't think that was true?
Oh, no. I think it's terrible. Yeah, but
It's
yeah.
definitely true.
you were telling-
heard that Scorpions band member.
Yes. Yeah, you saw that. Absolutely.
Yes.
That's 100% true. Even you look throughout history, the elites,
Elaborate. Talk
they were
about
always
that.
in
Well,
pedophilia, like the
and they were-
church. And I was
In the
just-
Bohemian Grove,
Yeah, Bohemian Grove, all that shit.
Yeah, he was telling me about that. I don't even.
there's
wanna
some
watch
sick
that
stories. And of course, you know, with the there's dark webs where people can go on and see babies being sexually abused and killed with Bitcoin.
Well, dude, that Pope, I was raised Roman Catholic.
Me too.
12 fucking years. That Pope that they have now is, I think he's the Antichrist.
Yeah, he's
Really
a
did.
pig.
And you notice he was put in around the time that Obama was president.
Yes.
It was a total globalist, like, checkmate to this country and to the fucking world. I mean, that guy is an absolute piece of shit.
Why are all those most of them are located in Italy?
Unfortunately, yeah. Read anything. Leo Zagami is a big-time investigative reporter in Italy. He talks about it all the time on various shows. And that Pope, how he's still the Pope. It's just the fucking Catholics should demand that he be removed.
Well, they're all sick fucks,
Well,
man.
not. I mean, it's like anything. Not everyone.
Yeah, I know,
everything.
but,
you know,
I mean-
but yeah, it's a huge
Brad,
fucking problem.
You sounded exactly like Joe Rogan.
What?
What you just said.
That they're all sick
They're all
fucks?
sick fucks. That's how he talks. I got you, Brad.
I don't
You
know.
sounded like that.
No.
You're a Rogan worshiper.
Bullshit.
I don't worship.
I don't worship
like him.
anybody. I don't even listen to all his
You sounded
podcasts.
exactly like
I pick
him.
and choose what I listen to.
I think his podcasts are overrated.
Yeah,
It's
I
whatever
agree.
guests he has on.
Absolutely.
He has silly questions. He's very
I've been put to sleep
childish.
by some of those fucking podcasts.
The guy never lived his life. He thinks he's a tough guy. He's a cokehead trend addict a few years ago.
I don't idolize any.
But that sounded eerily similar to Joe
I don't
Rogan.
know about that. I've never heard him say that.
You want to answer those allegations?
I just did, asshole.
No, you didn't. Not to my satisfaction.
Joe Rogan, he must be making pretty good money with that stuff. I would
Fuck
think.
yeah.
He shouldn't be.
Yeah, well, that's this
So he
society
can
we live in,
take his
Leonard.
DMT and get high. Little fucktard.
Actually, I think what we should do, I know the next trip for the Misfits. You should come with me. If I go, we go to the next big gun show up at the fucking
Sounds
South
good.
Florida Fairgrounds.
Leonard. Oh, sounds
We
good.
can all buy a gun. And like a couple of thousand rounds.
Brad needs one.
I don't need one.
I got plenty to arm all of us.
Thank God.
The shit hits
All
the
right,
fan.
good. I'll come see you. I got your number. If I feel like I need one, I'll come visit you.
If the shit ever hits the fan, I'll have plenty to dole out because we're way to form a perimeter around my house, and I can get up. Oh, never mind. I ain't gonna say.
I think Mark's going to get
Paranoia.
a knock
No,
on the
just
door
prepare.
tomorrow
Just prepared.
by the FBI.
It's all legal. Come take a look. I don't give a fuck. It's my God-given right. It's my God-given right.
You have any
to
grenades?
arm and defend. No, you can't buy grenades. Although I should be able
My
to.
neighbor has one. Kelly, he has a few.
Okay. Why don't you say his address too, you fucking asshole?
Adams Road.
It is my God-given right. Thank God for the founders. They knew their shit. They knew their stuff.
They didn't have any of these leftists roaming around hundreds of years ago when this country was formed.
They
That's
just
for
fought
sure.
against an authoritarian king. They just wanted their freedom. You know?
Well, society is so fucked up now because of all the social media shit where you can, you know what's going on right away in any part of the world.
Oh yeah, that's what it's. The thing is too. I mean, you see that, and then you see the people suffering like crazy in Venezuela, and nothing gets done to help those people. Those people are eating dogs and zoo animals. It's a fucking nightmare over there. But I mean, so what? We just look at it on our phones. Cool. Look at them die of hunger. It's terrible.
Mark, what's your opinion on the marijuana legalizations that's been shoved down everyone's throats, it seems like, by the media?
I don't care. Legalize it. I don't give a fuck.
Do you think-
it'll be fully legalized?
Do you think it's a tool of the left for mind control? I always thought that.
Oh, please.
Well, it gets people. It can get people lazy. It depends. But I mean,
I know somebody that's really hard worker that
Shut your mouth.
I believe in
Fucking-
freedom.
It'll
That's what I
be
believe in.
fully legalized everywhere once the big drug companies can
Yeah, once
corner
they
that market.
weasel into it.
Pfizer and all that.
Absolutely.
Once they have their hand in it, you'll see it
Absolutely.
everywhere. They're the ones that are stopping it right now.
Yeah.
They know it's going
to
to put a lot of their fucking pills off the shelf.
They're scum. Those pharmaceutical. That's another thing.
well, now they're
They
saying
run this fucking
broken
country.
up.
now they're trying to say
the
that
opioid crisis.
the
on all
pain
those
pills they're
fucking-
going to bring them back. The pain clinics, because everyone's dying of fentanyl, so they're talking about letting doctors do that all again. So back to square one.
I've seen this. My I guess a couple of best friends of mine are brothers, and their parents are like a second set of parents to me. Known them since I've been down here for like over 30 years, and he's addicted to opiates. To this dude fucking takes the fucking patches, the pain patches. He cuts them up and sucks on them. This guy was such a good guy. And he just got addicted to it. He's been addicted now for about 10 years. And I've seen him just decline. And it's fucking terrible to watch this shit. And it's not like he was a pauper either. He was a fucking doctor. That's pretty much how he got into it. But it's very sad to see. And I could see, you hear the stories of all these people that are suffering from it. And you can blame Big Pharma and
Absolutely.
and some of these doctors.
Look at all the beautiful commercials that they.
That's all there is.
Like,
Drug commercials for
a lot of
everything.
money to make those commercials. Where do you think they're getting
Those
that?
filthy diabetic commercials. Some of that stuff I was prescribed, and some of it almost killed me.
Well, you should.
I
take
was so
blood thinners.
dehydrated taking, I forget the name of it. Oh, it was horrible.
Can't you just take like a baby aspirin and eat more foods that's in your blood?
I think that just my body's got to heal itself.
Because those blood thinners are poison.
He's ready to
man.
die because he thinks he's going to see Christina. So he
Well,
doesn't give
Well, don't
two
you want to
shits.
see her in person?
We're going next year to Italy.
Is that where she lives?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Actually, I just got a text today saying that
Where in Italy?
somebody made actual contact with
You
her.
got a real email.
He says, don't really tell the maniacs, but I guess I spilled the beans. But, you know, it was the Winston Churchill, the modern day Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
And, you know, looking forward to it.
What city? Where's she near?
She had a TV show in Milan, Italy.
So that's what, the northern part of Italy?
We'll be able to track her down. I think Brad knows Italy. He's been there a few times before, I believe.
No, I've never been.
Oh, it's
To
your first time?
lived over
Yes.
there for a while.
my first time. When are we planning this trip?
I don't know, maybe this spring out, nice, cool, crisp weather.
Is there going to be a GoFundMe?
Sure. They want to see it happen. It's just like, you know, when people go to a movie, do you go for free? No. Everybody give a little bit that helps it make a better movie.
Well, the food's supposed to be really good over there.
Yeah.
It's real Italian.
Well, hopefully, like I said,
But it's a lot different than here.
yeah, my
For-
brother was
yeah.
telling me, but I've never been there. I'd like
Yeah.
to go at some point.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like I'd like to go to Sicily too. Before
I don't know what I would do if I ever saw her. I'd probably faint. Brad will have to carry me around. So he better start.
Fuck you.
He better start
I'll
squatting.
hire like 6 little Italian guys to carry your fat ass.
I'll get
around.
one of those little mopeds for
A
you.
Vespa.
Vespa, yeah. You drive that around.
What's going to happen? It's going to happen next year. I don't know how I'm looking
It's a
forward to
long
it.
flight, dude.
Oh, it's worth it.
You're gonna need to get up and walk
It's
around.
10 hours, 9 or 10 hours.
It's worth it.
Yeah, it's you could get up and walk around those planes. Jay's calling in. He can't fucking help himself.
I haven't
Here.
talked to him in a while.
You see, it's going to counter with
You know, you
PJ
see that we're
Vaughn.
doing a podcast, so you have to
Yeah.
call in.
Big
What's up?
letdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 minutes. 2 minutes, what?
Let's go talk.
So you got Republican Mark there, a friend of mine.
Libertarian.
Libertarian. He's not Republican.
I'm for freedom and individual liberty.
Jesus Christ. I hope he has his NRA card in his wallet.
He hopes you have your NRA card in your wallet.
I got this in my wallet.
Oh, he just pulled out a gun. We're all safe.
The one in my bedroom is bigger, Mark.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but this one's on me.
That's true.
Go ahead, fuck. Are you drunk?
I got one thing to say about these Judge Kavanaugh Supreme Court hearings.
Fire away.
Go.
Back in my day, in the 1980s, when we were at beer parties, I used to whisper in the girl's ear, "Don't let this rape turn into a murder."
You're not running for office or Supreme Court.
That's right.
Right. There's a little bit of a difference there, dummy.
Yeah. Why don't you call me dummy?
Because you are. Oh, I forgot. I gotta call you pussy instead. You like when I call you a pussy.
I act stupid, but you actually know I'm highly intelligent and very educated.
No, I know you are. I know. Are you drunk right now, Jay?
I am drinking
That's a yes.
Natty Daddy, which is natural ice
Oh.
on steroids,
Oh boy.
8% alcohol.
Very nice. And you
Yeah,
you
I'm doing it.
Instagram still won't let you go live?
Yeah,
Why not?
yeah. I don't know. It has to be something from Vegas. But I didn't go live in Vegas. I said all those bad words on your channel or the Misfits channel.
So
I
why?
think they know who I am. So if I do something wrong on someone else's channel, they punish me on my channel.
No, but they only suspend you from doing lives when you do something fucked up in a live. I don't know. You probably don't remember it. Did anything get removed?
No, I really didn't do anything fucked up. I promise you.
You don't have to promise me. I'm not your dad.
Wear an Obama hat and you'll be able to do whatever you want. They'll love you.
Yeah. Mark should wear an Obama hat and you can do whatever you want.
Hey, ask Mark what he thinks about the Taurus judge, the handgun that shoots 410 shotgun shells.
That will leave a nice mark.
He said it'll leave a nice mark.
Good. I was watching Lenny's side laterals.
Oh, yeah? What'd you think?
Yep. Perfect form. Yep. Too many cookie cutters try and take their dumbbell side laterals too high. Your humerus bone in your upper arm should never, ever, ever go above parallel to the floor.
Isn't side lateral redundant?
You're getting a weak trap workout, correct?
Should be lateral raise or side raise.
Side raise.
But side lateral is redundant. Not that I expect a drunk Jay to know that, but
It's drunk, Jay.
yeah.
That's as far as you go.
Yeah, I was watching it.
Thanks for the input. You got anything else you want to say, Jay? This is very annoying doing the speaker fucking interview on the phone.
I appreciate those pictures of your girlfriend's feet.
All right, you sick asshole.
Bye-bye.
Send me a picture of Linda's chode.
Yeah, so the next time you're hungover and need something to induce a vomit,
Exactly.
you'll have it in front of you.
Exactly. A fucking boner kill.
Where's he at now on the road? Any idea?
I didn't even ask.
My uncle was a trucker for a long time, man. Like 35 years. He had his own truck.
I could never sit that long.
But I mean, he made good fucking money doing that, man. I think he ran up and down the Eastern Seaboard.
Yeah, they get paid well.
They make good money.
They better
Especially
get
now,
paid well.
They're in need of a lot of truck drivers.
Yeah.
They're like actually in a real drought.
There's a lot of other jobs, the trade jobs like welders and all that shit they need because
Everything is.
kids are all going into the computers and technology shit. They're not teaching them
If you could-
mechanics, all that shit, man.
And that's something. Well, I mean, I guess robots could eventually replace that too. No, being if I had a kid, if it was a guy, I would steer him in the direction of a good trade. Like even like a good trade to go in now would just be a plumber.
Yeah.
That's something that's going to be around.
The only thing is, though, crawling underneath,
That's
Ugh.
you know what though, if you do it in the right state.
getting in tight spaces.
Well, Florida is not a ton of. I mean, there's not real crawl space in Florida really, but I mean, a plumber
Just
I mean,
going snaking toilets all day.
it's better than sitting at a fucking computer, you know.
It just depends what they're good at and what they gravitate towards.
But do you agree with me that there's going to be euthanasia and sterilization en masse and at the whim of the globalists in the future?
There already is sterilization. Look at there was a big study done not too long ago. It's anywhere. You can probably dial it up on the phone. The sperm rates in men in this country has dropped like 50%. The count.
And do you think there was something added to the food supply deliberately?
Absolutely, water, food.
We don't need to.
None of
more
this
people.
shit is
There's
done.
enough people on the fucking
None of
planet.
this shit's done by mistake. It doesn't happen by accident. Like
So who
immigration,
decides this, Brad?
It's not a mistake. It's
Who's
all-
going to decide this? Bernie Sanders?
The elites do. They've been deciding
Sanders
for
is going to
decades.
decide shit, and you know it.
I don't know anything anymore.
You know a lot.
But I just know that they'll be told who's going to live and who's not going to live.
Think so?
That's coming all around the world, yes.
Absolutely.
In
What
the
is it in
future.
China? Is it China that only allows 2 kids
It
per
used
couple?
to be, but I think they may have changed that. They used to kill the girls if they had girls back in the day. They would kill them. It'd be like fucking ancient Greece.
What did the
Throw a
great
kid off the
leftist
fucking cliff.
Pol Pot do? Had his revolutionaries grab babies and toddlers by their ankles and smash them against trees. If you saw the movie The Killing Fields,
I don't think I ever saw that.
that went on. You didn't see The Killing
No.
Fields? See
Thanks
it.
for the warning. Thanks for the warning.
That'll show you collectivism at its worst. True story, by the way.
That's where they
And the
want to take it.
sickening part is not giving away the whole film to see a 13-year-old commie girl come up to a grown man who grabbed a piece of grass on the side of the road and ate it. And she comes up with a plastic bag and puts him around a grown man's neck and chokes him
Oh shit.
while the other commies hold him down. The humiliation of that, a 13-year-old.
Well, read that book by was it Solzhenitsyn? Was it about the gulags in Russia? The shit they used to do to the fucking people there.
The slave labor working you to death.
They'd come into your fucking little house, with a bunch of people in it. They take everything. They take your fucking pillow. They take everything. You'd sleep on the fucking floor with nothing. It's that's a famous book. It's something of Archaea. I don't even remember the name. It's Solzhenitsyn.
If you have 2 horses, you don't need. We're taking this. Somebody else needs this.
But I mean, just look throughout history. There's always been authoritarianism, whether it's a king and a queen or some scumbag running a communist style of government.
But was the Tsar better? I don't know. I hear bad stories about him.
Well, you could get a benevolent dictator and be lucky for a while.
Yeah.
But once they're dead, you're fucked and you start over again. I prefer the system we have where you have rights that you're actually born with.
But Mark, do you think when this Bill of Rights was written and the Constitution was written, you didn't have these third worlders coming over here?
Oh, that's a good topic because, the whole immigration from the third world did not happen. Like the third world did not happen until 65.
If it did, they came over in chains.
Well, that fat fucking scumbag drunk motherfucker Ted Kennedy, when they passed the fucking
That's a very colorful description of Ted.
Well, he got up in front.
Vehicular homicide.
He got up in front of
definitely.
the world when they passed it in 65, the Nationalization Immigration Act. And he got up and said, this act will not change, the foundation of our country and the demographics of our country. Is bullshit. They did it on purpose. And they knew it would because they knew they'd get a flood of fucking voters. They would always vote for him because they always gave him free shit. And it's happening. This is why they're bringing all these fucking people in. Both sides, Republican and Democrats, don't want to do shit about it. They don't fucking care. They get the cheap labor from them.
That's it.
And then they get the votes on the other side, so they don't give a fuck. The only people that suffer are our poor people here and our middle class here because of it. It's total bullshit. And, even the founding of the country, I could talk about this all day. This country, whether you like it or not, was founded on Judeo-Christian values by white Europeans. That is a fact. If you look also at the immigration acts they had in the late 1900s and the early 1900s, the late 1800s, the early 1900s, it's in there. They said we wanted mostly white Europeans because we didn't want the country to devolve into a third world because they knew these people would assimilate because they had the same beliefs, the same religions. Fucking sorry, but this country was never meant for Islam. Islam at the radical level does not meld with westernized countries. It's a fucking fact. Now, if you want to come in with your religion, practice it, Islam, and assimilate in the Western culture and be part of Americana, then you got hats off, come on in, we'll have a fucking party. But if you're going to bring your third world shit like you do in fucking England and fucking Germany and Sweden, we don't need that shit here. And thankfully we are an armed
France.
nation. Yeah, France. Those countries, by the time we're old men, those countries are finished.
Yeah.
When you had that guest, I listen to all your podcasts.
Hamburg.
From Sweden.
Yep.
And you also have the girl, Nate's girlfriend.
Yeah, Livia.
And they all said the same fucking thing. I've read countless stories about people that live all
Hamburg was
throughout
afraid to speak.
That's a
Yeah.
You can get arrested.
Yeah.
In England.
Right.
In Sweden.
He didn't want to say a lot of shit that he
People-
told us off mic.
People have no idea how lucky they are to live in this country. I mean, it is so fucking bad. Even remember Big Vic?
Yeah.
I used to talk to him about that all the time 5-6 years ago.
Victor.
He used to go back to Sweden to visit his parents, and he's like, Mark, you will not believe how bad it is getting here. And the fucking far left and the feminized morons in that country have literally let in their own fucking assassins to their culture. Those countries are done. Done. Thankfully, Italy made a fucking stand. They got a new guy in there. But now all the fucking scum that was supposed to go into Italy is now going into Spain. So enjoy watching Spain fall.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was in Spain last year on one of the buildings.
Yeah, I remember
Big
you guys. Yeah, I remember you saying.
Refugees, welcome.
It's like basically saying, "Come and fucking kill me." It's. There is no assimilation. It's just come in and we're going to be diverse and we're going to have every little stupid little fucking group that we can divide everybody with. Diversity is not a strength. It's never been a strength. Having people that assimilate and believe in a culture, predominantly one religion, that is strength. You look throughout history, the strongest nations were together. They weren't divided in every little fucking category. It's total bullshit. And these cocksuckers on the left.
Yeah, it's
trying to
against
shove
human
it down our
nature.
throats. This shit pisses me off beyond belief. I don't have kids, like I said. I feel terrible for my brother's kids, my best friend's kids. And because I see this shit coming here. It's coming here slowly.
Well, you just, you're educating them, and hopefully they'll listen.
They don't give a shit. And then you have a guy like Trump who, I'd like to build a wall to keep out some of the fucking bad people that are coming in. So then he's a racist and he's a scumbag and he hates the world. Give me a break. Go live in those shitholes and then fucking come back and see how you like it.
And you want our country to turn
Go live in Liberia for a week.
Go live in Senegal. Did you see those soldiers take the mother and the children out to the field and shoot them all together for no reason at all?
Why do you think they want to come
No
here?
reason at all. Shot them.
I could actually, I could solve a lot of the problems of the country real easy. Number one, if you want to eliminate all these third worlders coming, you don't need a wall. You just cut off all fucking welfare. If you can't make it here, you fucking die or try to rob and get killed. 2, eliminate the Federal Reserve. That's a whole other fucking issue. And then it's ridiculous what is going on, man. And then all your kids in colleges that have been taken over are so brainwashed.
And they're getting free tuition.
You can't even talk to these kids. They yell and scream, racist, Nazi. No, asshole. I'm standing up for basically your stupid fucking kid.
Marching because they don't want to give a teacher a gun.
It's
blaming the president
illegal
for that shit, saying it's his fault.
Now, Trump's got his problems. I mean, Trump's foreign policy, he's completely hijacked by the what they like to call the military-industrial complex. We continue to rattle the Russian bear over and over. Sanctions, you're poisoning people in England. It's just total bullshit. Sooner or later, Russia's going to say, fuck you, we had enough. And I would almost applaud it. Wait until Congress is in full session, send a small tactical nuke into D.C. It would be the greatest thing for America. It would be great. Fucking take them all out in one fell swoop. Every single. The only one I'd say would be Rand Paul, maybe a couple others on the Freedom Caucus. And none of you commies are getting saved. You're all going down to the fucking bowels of hell.
What did you think of John McCain? Did you like him?
John McCain started off a decent man. Obviously, what he went through, hats off. But he became a spokesperson. He was the leading spokesperson for the MIC. And his decisions led to the arming and funding of ISIS that went around raping and murdering Yazidi Christian girls and other Muslims.
Sticking knives up their asses.
He was
spears.
Absolutely. If there's a hell, he's probably in it for those decisions. But, I mean, he could have been a nice guy, too. But what he did, it is fact. These are not guesses. These are facts. You can see the pictures with him posing with these generals of the moderate fucking Syrians. No, they were fucking terrorist scum that we funded and gave arms to. That's
a war hero.
Benghazi was. They were running guns through there. But, of course, that was Obama said it's a conspiracy theory, so it doesn't count.
A guy like that, he was spilling his guts out when he was a captive in Vietnam. I don't buy his story for 1 minute. He was singing like a bird. Because if he wasn't, he wouldn't have done these things later on in life.
No,
if he was that type,
became a guy that was about war. Who the fuck can we bomb and kill? Oh, look, it's brown people in the Middle East. Let's fucking kill them. He was a
yeah, let's bomb Iran. And they never did one fucking thing to us. Ever.
I mean, their leadership's terrible, but the Persian people are good people. And
they never did shit.
Some of their women.
I've seen them.
Out there fucking good-looking women.
Yes. There's a couple on the bus.
Free the Persian women.
There's a woman of my age on the bus, and she has a burqa on, but you can see her eyes. I always wink at her, and she smiles and turns her head. But it's very nice looking.
Oh, my God.
This is my brother.
Is he listening?
No.
Oh, boy.
No, my brother used to
Let's
work
see.
in the State Department. I think I showed you that picture. Where's the other one? It's with Joe Biden.
Oh, my God.
My brother's older. He saw John McCain before John McCain said that he had a brain tumor. And my brother was like, yeah, there was something way off with him. You could tell he was real slow. Now, I mean, as a man, that's fine. But what he did as a politician in government was despicable. And also what he did, too, one last thing to fuck over the people, is when he cast a deciding vote to fucking not repeal Obamacare, which is a fucking disaster.
Didn't he want to outlaw MMA?
There was something with boxing in Arizona.
Yeah. Called it human cockfighting.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the guy, I think what he did politically was absolutely horrendous, and a lot of fucking people died because of. You notice how ISIS is pretty much a fart in the wind now. What happened? Oh, Trump and the Russians kicked the living shit out of them. That's
They were a joke to begin with. They just propped themselves up.
When's the
with their
last
videos.
beheading video? We were getting.
They're old.
Burned alive, drowned alive.
But that one where they were in the slaughterhouse being hung upside down.
Yeah.
And then with that hose. And then throwing them off that, with their hogtie, throwing them off the top of a truck, face down so your chin breaks. And those guys are emaciated. Could you imagine the horrors they went through? And then being shown while the other guys are getting that throat cut. This is what's going to happen to you in a few minutes. Hanging upside down, let the blood drip out slowly, then stick a hose in there and just bleed out like that while you're hogtied. People think they're tough and stuff. Someone gets you into captivity.
Like a cow.
I don't give a damn what you are. You're going to. That's why John McCain, they're torturing you like that. You're going to sing. Trust me.
Oh, yeah. Who wouldn't?
They'll inject you with things that'll give you anxiety like you have no idea.
Isn't that why a lot of the spies
Don't tell me nobody sings.
Cyanide capsules?
Yes, that's the Nazis had them all.
Yeah.
I don't know how they had them, but, they bite down in a certain way and they were done. I think Himmler did that. And they knew better because those Russians were going to fuck them over and then stuff them and put them in a commie museum.
Well, you know what Patton said, too. Remember what he said?
Yeah.
He said, I think we helped the wrong people.
Yes, he was right.
That's why he was
You could have
too.
taken out the Russians and then deal with those fuckers later.
That's after World War II. I think
Because Germany was split up. You had so many people that wanted to kill Hitler, and you had a smart, intelligent side of Germany that didn't want else to go on. They wanted to get rid of the Russians.
Yeah, and
That would have been simple.
After World War II, Italy and remnants of the Germans were scared to death that the communists were going to take over those two countries. And what happened, it was the OSS at the time, which was the first. It was the Office of Strategic Services. It was basically the beginning of the CIA. And they got together with remnants of the SS in Germany and the Mafia and the Vatican. And they went around crushing the communist rise, particularly in Italy. And they did that by selling heroin all over the place here in the United States. Particularly, I think it was the Bronx, all the jazz clubs back in the 50s. They didn't give a shit, and the mafia were the ones that would disperse it. So I think they went on to become Operation Gladio or some shit it was called. Yeah, fucking our government's as filthy as it gets. As filthy as it gets, and it's very sad. If the founding fathers were alive, they would have revolted. They would have had another Revolutionary War 100 years ago. That's how bad it is. It's terrible.
Why has there never been a successful, totally African-run nation in the history of the world to this day?
I mean,
Ever.
maybe like 5,000, 6,000 years ago, but nothing in modern
I don't even
times.
believe that. I think the Egyptians were.
Well, if you look to the Egyptians, they were not sub-Saharan.
Right.
They were more Middle Eastern, really. You look at them. If you look at an Egyptian and sub-Saharan African, they look nothing alike. But I mean, look at the time before the evil white man, the racist evil white man invaded Africa, and compare everything in Europe and in the Scandinavian countries, compare their infrastructure, their buildings, and everything to anything down in sub-Saharan Africa. Just do it. You can do it. You can look historically and tell me what you see. You're not going to see much innovation in sub-Saharan Africa.
They've done studies. Their brains are not
They had
capable.
civilizations, and they did.
That's a fact.
Nothing compared to the Europeans and the evil white.
What do you think about Margaret Sanger and her eugenics?
Margaret Sanger, Planned Parenthood. She fucking hated black people, and yet blacks.
But I agree with the point that you should do everything you can to have a better, healthier, more intelligent offspring.
Yeah.
And that includes, a good genetic makeup. That's something that the Germans did. They put together the top breeders and they bred a lot of German babies.
Yeah, those the purple. Well, look at the fucking Greeks. If their babies looked like they were going to be wimps, they were fucking thrown off the fucking cliff.
From that movie 300. Remember that?
I mean, I don't know if it was that fucking crazy, but yeah, they wanted the best warriors, the best of the best. And I mean, even you look at slavery here, they bred the biggest and strongest female, the strongest male to get the best slave to do the work.
Look at Shaquille O'Neal. He wasn't built like that living in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. Hell no.
Remember when Jimmy the Greek said that? He got fired.
Yeah, of course.
Could you
God
imagine?
forbid if facts are true.
Yeah.
And Howard
He got fired
Cosell.
for saying what?
Jimmy the Greek Snyder.
Blacks that they could run better because their hamstrings went farther up into their ass.
Someone
And because of the breeding on the plantations.
It sounded like he was a little tipsy. He may have had a few drinks. Someone put a mic in front of him, and he basically said what Mark just said. He was fired instantly.
Remember, Howard Cosell got fired for talking about one of the Redskins receivers. Look at that little monkey run.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Of course, if you look online, there's a Monday Night Football from 1971 where Howard Cosell had to leave at halftime, and you hear the first half, he was drunk. Fuck.
They should have an announced team that's drunk.
Well, it was just like Joe Namath when he hit on that sideline. I remember watching that. I was cracking up. Yeah.
Well, I remember when I was a kid and I used to go to New York Mets games. It was Ralph Kiner and Tim McCarver in the booth, and when I would get seats fairly close to the announcer's booth, you would see at the beginning of the game they would have a full bottle of Cuddy Sark. And by the seventh inning, it was empty.
Ralph was a big
Kiner and McCarver drank all game
These
long.
were the Pirates, deliberate.
WOR, baby.
WWR, that's
watching
right.
all those games.
Yep.
Now their season starts in April and ends at the end of April.
They got Joe Buck. Fucking Borefest.
It's boring. Yeah. All the announced teams are boring. Actually, Romo's pretty good because he calls the plays.
Yeah.
And gives you good
Aikman's
strategy.
boring as fuck.
Yeah, Aikman's gotten a little tired.
Yeah.
Romo's probably the best guy.
I actually liked when Gruden was on the Monday Night Football.
I like Gruden too. He was good.
Now he's struggling over there in Oakland.
Well, I mean, you get rid of your best football player. That guy Mack is the second coming of Lawrence Taylor, for Christ's sake.
But Gruden's an egotist.
Yeah.
He wants to do
It's all about him, yeah. Let's build it for Vegas.
He got so much money to nuts. He couldn't say
million.
no. I mean,
$100 million to fucking coach a game.
Plus, his kids are grown now.
And he's still, I mean, what is he, 55?
These cowards aren't smart enough to go. I couldn't deal with those punks. The way they act now, it's unbelievable.
Spoiled.
Childish. You know, Big Ben, there's no music in the locker room during practice. None. He established, even if Antonio Brown starts playing it, he'll say, hey, and they listen to him.
Well, the thing that gets me too, you watch these guys practice, like especially for warm-ups, I don't know, but they're all wearing headphones.
If you need music to motivate you to do anything, you have problems.
I never saw Jerry Rice doing that.
And you can imagine
nobody worked harder than him.
I think those guys have sponsorship deals with Beats by Dre. That's like when, before an MMA fight, when they walk out from the locker room into the cage, they're wearing friggin' Beats by Dre or whatever headphones. What can they possibly be listening to with 50,000 people screaming?
I read a thing about those Beats.
They get paid to wear
those Beats headphones. Where they sell them for about $300. They're about literally like $20 worth of
they're
product.
awful.
Oh, they're less than that.
They're shit.
Just like the shoes. Look at the fucking shoes.
I wouldn't be caught dead in that shit.
Compare Beats by Dre headphones to KOS. KOSS.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a German company.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Best headphones you'll ever use. Compare them to Beats by Dre, and they cost less.
There was a company years back. I come from an audio background a little bit. Sennheiser, they're big, they're around, but they were selling these headphones, and there was one that was like, I don't remember the exact stats. Say it was $200, and then they were selling a pair that was like maybe $50. And a couple of engineers took them apart, like piece by piece, and they found out the only difference between the more expensive one and the cheaper one is that in the cheaper version they had specifically put something in there to muffle the sound a little bit. They got busted for it big time. So I'm like, I'll never buy Sennheiser again.
Just like the supplements. You got the big name out there. And what's your take on the PJ Braun, Aaron Singerman?
Oh, yeah, I saw that, man. It seems like he got fucking taken over a hole, man.
Leonard had an interesting take on that.
What do you think
I thought it might have been a setup between the two of them to create more
hype for each company.
Right.
Well, you have the WWE mentality like Jay.
Yeah, and I think they do too. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because when people are talking about it, people are buying. They're going to say, I want to try this.
I'm going to support yeah, it's true.
I want to try this, see which is really better.
Any attention is good attention.
Yeah.
Yes.
Looks like when a hurricane's 6 days away, they say, it's going to hammer everybody, kill everyone to get you out to buy everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been through hurricanes. A couple branches fall, the power's out. It's a pain in the ass, but
The main thing is having the power outage.
That sucks, especially in the middle of summer.
Oh, man. I had it. That was horrible.
Same
Fucking
here.
brutal, man. You got to
Man.
cook everything off in your fridge.
Yeah, it's
You know,
the heat. Yeah, the thing for me is I can't sleep like that, man.
hell no.
I slept at Brad's house after Irma.
Yeah, I didn't
literally-
lose the power.
I slept on the fucking tile floor because there was still some coolness in the floor.
Yeah, right.
It's fucking
Like
I
a
hated
fucking
it.
dog.
That was Wilma. We didn't have power for like 10 days.
Yeah, Wilma, I was out for a week. I
That
remember
fucking
that.
hurricane sucked. And then the fucking
Cold
cleaning
showers.
mess.
But after Wilma, there was a
clean
cool.
shower.
But
Cold
after,
showers.
Yes.
Feel good.
Yeah.
after
that's
Wilma,
nice.
right after Wilma, the day after was a cool front.
That's
That was
right.
nice.
That's
Of
right,
October.
yeah.
Wilma happened at the end of October. We were right on the cusp of that nice winter cool air.
2005.
You know,
Fucking-
I must be thinking
Hurricane
the year
season
before
was
then.
over. We were
Yeah.
done. Oh, we got it. We got away
Yeah.
with it. No hurricanes. And then out of nowhere, Wilma formed in the
That's
Gulf
right.
of Mexico.
The year
Shot
before, we
across.
got hit twice in a row.
Gene
Francis and Gene.
That's the one I had to sleep on the floor. We got power for about a week in that one.
Yeah.
It sucks. Hurricanes are a fucking pain. I'm sick. I'm thinking
We're close to
eventually
being
maybe,
over it.
maybe moving to like fucking Tennessee or something down the line.
If I
have
were
friends
moved,
and
I'd move to
family.
Vegas.
Yes, you would.
Yeah, you would. Well, yeah. I mean, you'd be
If
right
I-
out.
Bike. It's
Everything. I was out there in 2003.
If my family wasn't all here, I would live out there
In
for
Vegas?
sure. Yeah, because I hate rain. I hate the fucking rain,
The humidity
and it
sucks.
never rains there.
I mean, you go down that Folsom Street any night of the week, just hang out
I like what's the
Fremont.
Fremont. That's the old version, right?
Yeah, it's the old
I like,
Vegas,
I
yeah.
like
before
that,
you can
yeah.
slip. So
Do they have the big light thing still? Like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Forget about the Folsom Street Fair.
The Folsom Street.
Yeah,
San
look it up,
Francisco.
maniac.
Leonard would live very close to the Las Vegas Lounge,
You should-
where, by the way, is it interesting what Andrew told me the other day about the Las Vegas Lounge. He told you
To
too.
tell.
I have a friend who used to live in Las Vegas from 2008 to 2010. And she's aware of what we do in the Misfits and Lenny's escapades. And I told her that you went to the Las Vegas Lounge. And she said she used to go there when she used to work at the, I can't remember the name of the place, right across the street. And she said she's seen Mike Tyson there.
Oh wow. What's he doing there?
What do you think?
Was he in drag?
He may have been leaving with someone in drag.
Interesting.
Iron Mike.
Doesn't
Mike
surprise me.
Tyson
No, not at all.
in
You
Las
can tell he's
Vegas
a little
Lounge.
fucking fruity.
According to my friend.
What's he?
It's not fruity. It's just, again, what you said.
Oh,
the
sorry. I
alpha,
forgot who
super
I'm talking
alpha male, they're inclined towards that.
But
Right.
not only that,
What?
your other friend that knew him.
Oh, yeah. Should I tell the story?
Yeah, why not?
All right. I have a buddy who lives up in New York. I'm not going to say his name. And this is probably between 15 and 20 years ago. He was out at some nightclub in New York. It was late at night, like 3 in the morning. He was sitting at the bar. Mike Tyson was there with an entourage. And he told me Mike Tyson sat down next to him and they started talking and shooting the shit. Said they had a really good conversation just for about a half an hour. And Tyson was like, "You seem like a cool dude. Let's exchange phone numbers." So my buddy and Tyson exchanged phone numbers. And then eventually my friend went home, went to sleep. And he said when he woke up, he had a voicemail from Mike Tyson at like 4:35 in the morning saying, "Hey, I'm up in my hotel room right now. I'm just kind of bored. Maybe, if you're not busy, you're not doing anything, you want to come up to my hotel room."
Oh jeez.
He said his just face turned white when he listened to it.
Imagine that maniac.
Yeah.
I'm sure he just wanted to have a couple of drinks. maybe
Yeah.
smoke a
Yeah.
joint.
Play chess.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Harmless.
We never thought Mike was, all there to begin with.
Put it this
anyway.
way, some of them TAM 1010s would beat the fuck out of him. Especially the one I was with.
Yeah, exactly.
She gets him in a wrestling hold. He's
Jesus.
done.
All those other, like in the videos, there's like a few other people. Were those friends of yours or people you knew? The one guy that was at the restaurant.
Mr. Fortunato.
What was his? I don't know. He was.
Chef Greg?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've known him since we were fucking in 4th grade.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Shit.
I should have
He's
brought
like
my
a
phone.
brother.
I have some good footage I could have shown you.
You still have it on your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't the anniversary of that shooting today?
That was on Sunday. It was Sunday night. Yeah.
A couple of days ago.
And of course, I still have no answers on that bullshit.
Yeah, can you believe that? No video of
It's total
nothing.
bullshit, man. Why? I could go off on that. I've seen the videos.
Very strange. And there was 2 windows shot out. Looked like he was shooting out of both windows.
Wait, you
There's-
see what videos?
There's more information that's come out on this throughout the year, but no one runs it. and they had body cams and everything, and you can hear on one of the camera audio tracks the guys when they break in the room, and it's like, yeah, no, windows are fine. And they've changed the official story on this like 4 or 5 times. Now there's another story saying that not only was the hooker in the room with that guy at some point, but there was another woman as well. And there's accounts by witnesses. Of course, they've been silenced. They were in the crowd, and a woman of like a Middle Eastern type look came up to a bunch of them in the group and said, "You're all going to die tonight."
Yeah, I heard that.
And that got silenced. But I've seen a lot of different videos on it, and with the audio tracks, you can clear as day hear in the background a belt-driven machine gun going off, and at the same time, more in the foreground, is another gun firing. It sounds like a muffled or a suppressed AR-15. It's firing at a different rate of fire. It's a different sound. They're just lying to us about that. Why would a fucking guy, if he's going to kill people, why would he need 22 or 23 different guns in one room? This sounds like, I'm just saying, maybe it was a gun deal gone bad, something with the FBI and they fucked up. I don't believe the official narrative of that, because history tells me that they fucking lie about everything. So why would I believe that?
There's definitely more to that story than they're telling us.
Absolutely.
Listen, hey, if the general public knew everything that went on,
Well, then there'd be pitchforks.
there'd be fucking riots in the streets.
That's why, yeah. of
They
course.
hide a lot of shit that
Absolutely.
they just don't want.
Yeah, but
the
it's
public.
such
crazy.
bullshit. The people deserve better than this, and that was a total fucking
No,
joke.
in the government's eyes, people are shit.
What?
In the government's eyes, people are shit.
Yeah, we are.
They don't deserve anything. They
Well,
don't
look-
deserve to live. Unless
And the
government
only
says
way
so.
these cocksuckers leave power is the way John McCain did on a gurney, dead. They won't look at Dianne Feinstein and Nancy Pelosi. She's flapping her gums saying, "I'm going to be the Speaker of the House again." It's like, really? I mean, haven't you made enough money off of the backs of the American people? Go fuck yourself. Leave. It's like, it's unbelievable. Criminals, all of them.
And the Constitution was written, the Bill of Rights. Women didn't have all this power. It's out of
No.
control.
I mean, I don't care that she's a woman. She's just another corrupt piece of shit. Fucking.
I don't know. I just think in history, you don't have women running the show
No.
in a successful business or a nation. I don't see it. It's not at the top level of decision making. They can't do it. They're either very vengeful or they're very weak.
Yeah, because you can't make decisions based on emotion.
Look at the bitch. It's supposedly the single bitch that got rid of me. There was an investigation. They didn't even speak to me. What kind of investigation is that? I wrote a statement.
It's a bureaucracy that wanted you out of there, and they found a way to get you
Exactly.
out.
They found the first opportunity.
I've seen it firsthand too. I think I've told you was what happened to my father, and he was fucking murdered by these cocksuckers in the hospital. I know it for a fact. I'm not getting into the whole story, but then we met with them at a litigation, and they brought in their whole fucking lawyer team, and trying to basically make up a whole fucking story of what happened. I'm like, bitch, I was fucking there. I saw what happened. It's like, oh, well, he was old anyway, and he was sick, so he wasn't going to live much longer. Oh, so he had to suffer with a brain aneurysm for a year and a half. So that's okay with you?
Fucking ridiculous.
I'm actually proud of myself because of how I didn't fucking just lose it and fucking kill everybody in that room.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that was what was going to happen.
I swear to God.
You didn't care. You were.
I'm a pretty laid back person, but with that type of stuff, like you ever get to the point like where you're like the room turns red, like you're so fucking like feral, like you want to go in and just rip somebody's head off. Like I saw red, and I was like only the second time in my life I saw that. There's not much you can do.
Was she offended when you called her a bitch? Did he give you that look?
No.
Like, how dare you?
Our lawyer was there, and he kind of like put his hand on me like this to try to like. It's whether it's big bureaucracy, big government, big corporations, the little people are always fucked. Always. That's why I like this country the way it was supposed to be. Individual liberty and freedom. You have the power, not the scumbags. But those days are long gone.
So out of control.
It's long
Past the
gone.
point of no return, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the only solution is to take back everything locally and work your way locally up and build your own communities. But even that is so. My brother ran for office in Vermont, and he told me everything that was going on. It's like even Facebook like his ads, they just would shut him down for no reason other than he was running as a libertarian. It's you really have no chance. But there was a new story. I don't know if you saw it. The guy that invented the web, basically, I forget his name. He invented like the HTTP to hyperthread. He said, it came out the other day, he is looking to revolutionize the internet by taking it away from these big corporations. And I don't know the fucking details, but he wants basically to make the internet to where every person has like their own pod and it's their own thing and they own it and all their files can go through it and it would be like its own, I guess its own address. But it was on a Drudge Report. It was real interesting.
Dale Chance already has his own computer.
His own pod. His hunting pod. What's his story? Is he getting like? So I know he was in a big accident, but is he able to lift again, or is he fucked?
I think he's had some surgeries. I think he's waiting on some doctor's clearances. But I mean, you know, I for one want him to compete at the Ruby, and I think he wants to too.
I think he'll be able to.
I don't think he's going to give up over a doctor's opinion.
What did the doctor say?
I know him that well to believe he's not going to do it.
What did the doctor tell him, not to lift anymore?
Yeah, I think he was told that he wouldn't be able to do
that's
things.
Not true.
I think he was.
He's got to recover first, and then he can lift. Of course, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
He had his shoulder operated on, his bicep.
Yeah, but to do the type of lifting where you need to do to gain that type of muscle.
I don't know. That just depends how his body heals, man.
That's true.
Everybody's
That
different.
sucks. He's lucky he wasn't fucking killed in that wreck, man.
Well, he's lucky he had the size that he did. He would have been killed.
I mean, his problem.
He was in the good. If he was
As when
in
I
that
got
shape.
hit by that car, if I wasn't so heavy, I would have went to the other side of the street and got ran over.
His problem is he was driving a Mustang. He should have been driving a Camaro, and he would have walked out of it with no scratches.
Did you ask? Did you ask the
Car
attorney?
joke,
Did you
people.
ask the attorney if he could get the footage from Wells Fargo of you getting hit?
I'll talk to the girl.
Yeah, ask, because that would be fucking
Did
hysterical.
they have footage of you getting hit?
There is somebody on the
Bike
camera.
accident?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
See this fast?
That happened to a friend of mine up in Orlando. He had a moped. He's a professor up at UCF, and he was riding, but you know, his house at the time was pretty close to the campus. And he was going back to his house, and somebody pulled out of the gas station and fucking ran his ass over. And he had a bad concussion. Nothing else major. He was lucky.
You know, if Lenny can get a hold of that footage of yourself being hit on the bike, one of these maniacs is to doctor the footage and make it Dale slamming in
And his car flipping.
in a
This is what
Mustang.
Dale hit.
Big explosion.
Yeah, it took me a couple minutes to get up off the road. Dazed.
Those scooters and motorcycles are scary down here, man. I knew a girl that got killed. She was just waiting at a stoplight at night. A drunk driver slammed right in the back of her, killed her.
You gotta have balls to drive a bike
Fucking
down here.
man.
I agree.
These people.
I'd love to have a motorcycle, but you can't. You
Don't
can't
do it,
down
Brad.
here. No, fuck no.
It's
Why, so you can show off your tattoos?
Ask Mark what he
Ride
thinks.
around on a Harley?
Everyone's medicated
Think it's you're some kind of
I
cookie
like
cutter?
motorcycles. No.
No, you don't. Just as much as you like playing golf.
Listen, let's go to some questions.
I got a question.
Go ahead. What's your question?
You do not like. Why do you like motorcycles?
They're fun to drive.
They're fun. Here we go again. Fun.
no fun is
Why
allowed.
don't you drive a 10-10-10? You'll see what fun is.
I'm not a faggot like you.
No, because you don't.
You fucking jerk off. Ask Mark what he thinks of Senator Cory Booker.
Oh, he's.
Gee, let me guess. Mark loves him.
This is like putting the ball on a fucking tee, really. Cory Booker is another fucking douchebag with no plan. Typical far left moron who thinks he's going to run for president. He's an idiot.
And the media loves him because his nice smile.
Destroyed Newark.
He go back and watch the questions he did during the hearing for Kavanaugh. Not the rape allegations, but the regular hearing. You can see what a moron
Was Kavanaugh crying the other day?
I think
saw
so,
it.
'cause, yeah.
Was he?
He's
Yeah.
probably crying because he sees
That's
his
like the
future.
only clip I saw.
No, he
of
sees
that.
his
I haven't been
future
paying
career
attention.
going down the fucking toilet.
Yeah. Can you ask Mark what's his input on what goes on behind closed doors regarding a music/celebrity contract as far as ritual sacrifices, pedos, and the gay oath that go in the industry?
Well, I can tell you this for a fact. I worked down in Miami for a while. We dealt with a lot of dance music. I saw Ricky Martin, or was that his name at the time? Yeah, he came in at the time. A lot of the producers, at least where I worked, a lot of them were gay.
Yeah.
You can, I don't, they never tried to hit on me or anything.
Closet or?
No, you knew they were gay.
Oh, okay.
They didn't hide it.
Well, whatever.
But it's the music industry. I mean, from my experience, it's either you're a fucking complete mental moron or a drug addict, and there's very few in between. You get some nice people, but there are very few far.
I'll say this. Speaking of gay men, 90% support, believe, and are involved in pedophilia. That's
possible.
a fact.
It's possible.
Like, they're going to turn that down? No.
Scorpions. Lenny, for bent over rows, is it better to do a Yates style row, or is it better to be more parallel to the floor, like the bedroom blueberries?
Well, I do a Yates style row, and we can do a comparison one day. Me and Jay can hit a lat spread, and the viewers, the maniacs, can decide for themselves.
All right, Lenny. Ask Lenny why he doesn't believe in dinosaurs, and how does he explain fossils, and what do scientists benefit from that lie?
No, there's no such thing as those. I mean, there's fossils, but a lot of those were put together with, say, a whale's head with a lion's.
Like mixing of them.
Right, and all those at the
lions.
we had a museum in Pittsburgh. All of those big Tyrannosaurus Rex and Triceratops were cement models. That was not bone.
I've never looked into it, so I really don't have an answer.
That is one of the biggest scams going, because what did it do? It brought the mass. I want to see this. Let's pay money to go see this. This is outrageous. And it's a money-making scam back then, and it continues to this day, and it continues with the scams of all the movies that you like to patronize, Brad. You saw every one of those Jurassic pukes.
I didn't ask you this fucking question.
Well, I'm just saying,
Don't get all
that's what that's all about, as most things are in life.
If that's what you want to believe, good for you. I could give a shit. Do you see Big Richard at Planet Fitness?
I'm with the one in Boynton now, so
okay.
I saw him probably a couple of months ago. He was saying to me,
He's starting to look his age.
Yeah, he says he's just like, I'm not into it anymore. He's like,
How could you be when you work out at that fucking?
Is he doing what he needs to be doing?
He looked like he was still pretty good. Yeah, I mean, as far as that aspect. I think he's just worn out.
You got to keep training. You got to keep medicating. You got to keep eating. You got to keep trying to sleep. It's that simple.
Well, the thing is, too, is it's like anything. I know I've said this before, but once you stop moving is when everything starts falling apart.
Right.
You got to keep moving.
Yeah.
You
got to do what it takes to keep moving.
Even if you're just going for a walk somewhere, you got to keep the body moving.
And sex, I mean, that's the truth. God knows in my case, I stopped and I'm basically a eunuch.
Isn't a eunuch the one that gets their balls cut off?
Basically.
But you have big old fucking dog balls. Here's a fact for the group. Of all the presidents, only 5 were non-politicians. Of the 5, 4 were generals, and 1 is a private citizen, Trump. How about that, Brad?
I think Harry Truman was, too.
Yeah, Truman was just a fucking... Woodrow Wilson was just a fucking professor. He was the cocksucker that signed in the Federal Reserve Act, and, of course, once the bankers hijacked the whole fucking country, what came after the Federal Reserve Act? The income tax law. Income tax is completely unconstitutional. It's nothing but theft. The people should revolt over that. And just why are you stealing my money?
Yeah, shit.
The whole government used to be funded on taxes and excise taxes, but that wasn't good enough for the welfare state they wanted to create.
What does Lenny think about Jake Roberts, Scott Hall, and Raving doing DDP yoga? And would he ever try it?
It's another money-making scam like dinosaurs, golf, and the like. And
He's all over me today.
The martial arts schools all over Boca that we saw today, paying exorbitant amounts to have your kid wear a gi and have an adult wrap his crotch around your kid's face.
I'm going to get it, but I don't have it yet.
Pedophilia in many forms.
See, I'm still waiting.
You have to be clever enough to see it.
Speaking of karate, I saw it when it came out. It's only on YouTube. You can only watch the first few episodes for free. But they did a Karate Kid series decades later, and it's Ralph
we talked
Macchio.
about it.
Did you watch that?
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
It's pretty fucking good.
No, it was great.
Did you watch the whole series?
No, I only watched the first 2 episodes.
Okay, because that boggled my mind.
There's a
really
site.
good.
You can watch them all for free. I just don't remember
really?
the name of the site.
Yeah, because I'm not paying YouTube for anything. You go fuck themselves.
Oh, it was amazing. It got better by the episode.
Yeah, and they're doing, I think, a season 2.
It was
I was shocked. It was as good
Exceeded
as it
all
was.
expectations. It was really good. Very
Oh,
well
I saw
done.
clips of that with Ray movie you read years ago with the human centipedes.
Oh, God, that's disgusting.
Of course.
They have like 3 others, just nasty.
I wouldn't mind being one with some 10s.
Every now and then you got to watch a good horror flick just to see how sick people are. Although the new Halloween looks pretty cool.
I didn't see a preview for
Looks
that.
pretty good. I think it eliminates all the other
Correct.
Halloweens,
Right.
except maybe the first 2.
It's a direct sequel from the first one.
So the second one's cut out too?
I think the second one's cut out, yeah.
It looks pretty good.
Right, John Carpenter-esque.
Oh, he was involved. He didn't direct it, but I think he produced it. He was one of my favorite directors as a kid, man. All the Kurt Russell movies
Yep.
and shit.
George Romero, him.
Yeah, he died not too long ago.
Yep,
right?
that's right.
I don't know a lot of
Yeah, that was filmed in Pittsburgh, close to my
That's
Correct.
right. Yeah.
home.
Night of the Living Dead. That's right.
In fact, the sportscaster, his name was Bill Cardill, he grew a beard later on. I went and watched him many years doing the local news. Very, very close to
You're
home.
a Steeler fan. I never knew this. You know,
Nah, not anymore.
Married with Children, the show. The
He was with the Steelers, yeah.
Al Bundy played for the
He was
tried
cut,
for the
yeah.
Steelers. Yeah, I never knew that.
He came with his.
Yeah.
He came with his father to training camp.
Oh, jeez.
His name is Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill.
Yeah.
That was a great show that
I
would never
love
be
that
able
show,
to be
man.
aired now.
That and all
I mean, they
of the
could show the
Family, my
reruns,
favorite
but you
shows.
couldn't get away with that shit now.
Brad was like the son when he was a little boy on Married with Children.
You get to be next to
Little kid
Christina
running all over.
Bud Bundy.
How about Christina Broccolini instead?
I liked Christina
Applegate?
Applegate, yeah. So, they always dressed her like the 80s slut. She was hot, though. You go back and watch, she was a babe.
I remember the episode that Corey Feldman was in. He took her out.
That's right,
He's
yeah.
like, put out or get out.
That show had all of the Playmates on it. They had, I don't know if you remember, it was an episode not too long ago. It's on TBS, or it used to be. I'd watch it early in the morning before I go to the gym. And they had these 2 black girls. They were twins. And look up these girls, the Tennyson twins. They were, I think, the first black girls to be on the cover of Playgirl. They were fucking gorgeous. And they used to be on Married with Children.
What, Playgirl?
Playgirl, Playboy. I was just
Playboy.
okay.
Maybe they were the
Leonard.
10-10 Tennyson
He
twins.
perked
Yes,
up.
Lenny.
And
He's going to be Googling
I
that
don't remember
later.
their first name, but they were the Tennyson.
Google it, Brad.
They were hot, gorgeous girls.
I'm not Googling that.
Yeah, because you're afraid you'll start jerking off.
Yeah, that's just what I'll do. I'll put on tranny porn and start
Brad,
jerking off
dude,
all over the
you
place.
show
right
Brad tranny porn. It's like putting a crucifix to Dracula. And my theory is he gets so turned on by it, he gets disgusted by
I'm
it.
disgusted by it.
Because he's getting turned on and he's mad at himself.
Incorrect. If it did something for me, I'd admit it. I don't give a shit. I'm not. What am I trying to hide?
I didn't see you
give a
go into
fuck.
the fucking Las Vegas lounge.
That's right. I didn't want to go there. For what?
And your buddy, his buddy brought down from all those years, as soon as we walked in, his little coward ass walked out the door and took
I
an
would have
Uber
done
home.
the same fucking
No,
thing.
is that lounge just for that type of stuff?
That's all there is.
I got no respect for that maneuver from him.
Oh, good. That's
And
because
he's
you're a
going to
sick
hear
fuck.
about it.
That's because you're.
Well,
a
you
sick
should go
fuck.
down to fucking South Beach. I worked down there for a while too. There's a studio down there, and there are a lot of trannies down there.
You
Well,
know
you're
that.
going to have to take me.
You should go down there. It's not that far, man.
Actually, Brad said he would rather went to South Beach than Bimini.
Well, South Beach,
he said there were a lot of 10s in Bimini.
Tans.
10s.
Well,
Tans.
South Beach, it's
A lot of
everything.
I wouldn't say there were tens, but there
It may
was
be
tans.
illegal down there, but I'm sure there are. Like in Jamaica, I don't think they're too keen to that.
They asked how you get your arms so swole.
Who?
Some guy asked Mark about how his arms are so swole.
Me?
Personally, I'm going towards creatine / dextrose and obviously genetics.
Yeah, I did use a lot. I used to take creatine every day.
Mark, tell him Synthol.
I never. It's funny. I've never done Synthol. I should though.
They call him Synthol Marc. You should have your own
In
brand.
my decrepit
Yeah, right?
state, I should go on
Imagine that.
Synthol. I'll be like Rich Piana and just shoot up oil in my body. No, but I mean, I just the basics. Heavy barbell curls and some type of preacher. Like, what was really good to do? You go into a barbell curl and then be by the preacher. The preacher stand with a dumbbell and do that. I guess they call it a giant set, like 6 to 8 reps, and you blow your arms up or your biceps real good on that.
I remember-
I used to love doing that.
I always used to see you at the preacher curl with a dumbbell.
Yeah, 'cause
Yep.
I
Always
do the
very
curl,
strict.
then I
Yep.
go into
Right.
that. and that blows your
Nothing
arms
too
up.
heavy, like 35
No,
pounds.
I had good biceps, but they were not like overly strong. I mean, I'm not a big guy to begin with, so I mean,
Well, you're
I need to
overly
do a ton
strong
of-
on the bench press
More
at 1 point
volume.
incline.
Yeah, and then
You're
genetics.
putting up. I never seen anybody do 365 with such ease.
I'll never see that again. At least it's documented somewhere in one of your videos.
Oh, yeah.
But of all people, Jay Masters is actually doing more as he gets older.
Yeah,
Go
he's
figure.
strong as a bull. There's no denying that. I'm concerned about his overall health.
Can't be good when your head is purple.
Right. I asked him the other day, I said, who's going to drop dead first, you or Lenny? He's like, Lenny. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Lenny.
It's not.
But he does take his blood pressure meds. He does give blood. 2 things.
Well,
that
if
you
I do
don't
drop
you
dead, I
should.
hope to see him soon, or I know where he went.
He's going to be hanging out with Christina. He's going to get to her before you.
I mean, hang around with Beelzebub, getting a dick
We're
up
all
his
going to be in the
ass.
same place, darkness.
In a hole.
Can you ask Lenny about his pro wrestling?
Brad, that's not right. If that's the case, that's not right. That's
You don't
to me.
think so?
Maybe there is an
to
afterlife.
think
I
of
don't know.
nothing. If that
We'll
were
all
true,
know
if I were
eventually.
shown that were true, that would give me the biggest panic attack. My heart would explode.
Really?
Yes, to me, that thought is unthinkable.
Have you ever seriously just sat there and thought about after you die, like they say it's eternity? And I start to think
Well,
about
who's
that. It just
they?
starts
Again,
to freak me out.
who's they?
Religions, the various religions.
We don't believe in religion,
You know,
but we.
the various faiths.
I do believe
All right,
there's
listen,
an
it
kinda
afterlife.
scares
I
the
hope
shit
there
out
is
of
an
me.
afterlife, but I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm open to
None
it.
of us
I
can
just
say
don't-
either way.
I hope I'm wrong.
And religion doesn't have the answers.
Believe me, I do. But it just doesn't make sense.
But but we're not meant to.
I don't believe
I don't
in
think we're meant to
ghosts.
realize
Nah,
it
that shit.
until we're dead.
Who's to say that right now what we are experiencing is not an afterlife? What if we're
That's
all,
true.
What if
Could
we're,
be.
what if we're all already dead and us sitting here right now is afterlife?
That is true.
How the hell do you even know?
Well, we could actually
is
be
true.
in another plane.
That is
In
true.
the same
Good.
world, we could be like on a separate
That's all
plane.
true. That's all
You know,
plausible.
you want to really blow your own mind. Start thinking of shit like that.
Quantum.
But then when I
physics
think
and all that
there's
shit.
nothing, I'll go into a panic attack.
Let's take,
If I think
let's
of
take some
nothing,
mushrooms and have
nothing,
this
nothing.
conversation.
No, it can't end that way. In other words, it's all pointless. And even Mark, he brought into perspective, we're just specks of dirt.
Pretty much.
And whether you live 100 years or 10 years, it's all. And what about all those poor kids, those babies that have died at childbirth and never had to experience anything?
Well, if you think about it too, when you watch shows on the universe and they zoom out of our solar system, everything we do and are is absolutely meaningless. It's pointless. It has no bearing on the universe whatsoever.
Right.
And don't forget as well, the sun is eventually going to die out. So and all these fucking techies and all these other assholes, the only thing you really should be trying to do is find a way off of this rock, because it does have, obviously it's billions of years, but that's really the only technology we need is to find out, space travel, real space travel, if you want to save the species.
Fascinating. Instead of worrying about these low-life cookie-cutter cowards talking about racism every fucking day, expand your boring horizons, you piece of human
Victimhood. It's
human
a big
filth.
business.
Human filth.
Racism.
Human
We
filth.
could be out there.
Everybody's a victim.
There should
Right,
be
yeah,
flying
yeah.
cars by now, but
We
everyone's
love
concerned
playing
with
that shit.
stupidity
That's all. It's
and
identity
their rights
politics,
and their
man.
feelings and having fun.
Everyone's
Whatever that means. Somebody define it, please. Fun. This
I'll
is
define fun for you. Being at the Las Vegas lounge. Was that fun?
Yeah, when I see 10.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There we go.
When I see 10 of them,
Okay.
eye
Shut the
me
fuck
up
up
and-
then.
Well, how expensive is a flight out there? Why don't you go like once maybe a couple of times a year?
Well, there should be something. Fuck.
I go every year regardless.
I go up to Dixie Highway if I had a fucking car.
Yeah, but isn't it better at that lounge? Would you say?
It's in a good neighborhood. You go in, you relax. There's no pressure on you. There's nobody working there, and you got girls coming up to you and rubbing your back. I had a great massage on my traps.
Girls.
You could take them home. Of course, I don't think that would be go from Florida. It'd be a front for prostitution. They'd shut it down.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, fuck. I know Andrew Clore had a good time. In fact, one girl he was talking to, man, that's the one I wanted. She lifted up her shirt. It was 2 bags of cocaine taped over her nipples.
Party time.
Let's
That's
party.
one way Brad would get in between the tits.
That was Jamal's friend Tyreek.
That's the Eddie Murphy
Guarantee you,
song.
she would have put some in her cock, Brad would be snorting it up right from it. It's right off it.
Oh boy, whatever you say, Leonard. At least I wasn't the one doing blow and getting my ass slapped at the same time. So you shut your mouth.
Are you going to release your second porno? You don't know.
Yeah, I figure what the hell, you know.
Oh, you figure what the hell?
I got the balls to do it. There's Dale Chance. He doesn't have the balls to do things like that. Dale Chance's best bet next year is to have the sun finally.
Well, you
burn
got to
out.
bring the phone. You have to bring the fucking
Black Hole
phone
Sun.
over here so Andrew
Was it
can
song
put it
by
on the computer.
Soundgarden?
Yeah.
Yeah, upload it to Pornhub. There you go.
Then Lou will call me in the office. You're out of here.
Yeah. What does Synthol Marc think about 9/11? Just curious.
I don't believe the official narrative. I don't, who the fuck knows, but I mean, why have they not unsealed or declassified those papers that talks about Saudi Arabia's involvement? So who the fuck
What do you
knows?
think about Sandy Hook?
I don't believe the official narrative on that as well.
I don't either.
I mean, how can this fucking drugged out loser be like a perfect shot?
Well, hold on. We have a lot of listeners overseas who don't know what you mean by Sandy Hook. You want to describe
That's when
it?
that little psychopath walked into that elementary school with an automatic weapon and opened fire. And then when he heard the police sirens, he ended his own life. There's a lot of conjecture.
What, he killed
misinformation
15
going on.
kids?
I mean, obviously something happened. Kids died, but like I said,
A kid.
Well,
Mark said a kid.
You're not saying.
look at the history of this country, the history of the CIA, what they've pulled off, the history.
Well, what would be the purpose of
gun confiscation and gun control? Absolutely, no doubt about it.
That could be Las
I'm
Vegas
telling
too.
you, that the authoritarian, their number one goal is to disarm.
But you're not an
the
Alex
public.
Jones saying it didn't happen.
Well, Alex Jones, I like Alex Jones.
He didn't say it didn't happen. He said the version.
No, this is what happened. Alex Jones had this guy on. His name is Wolfgang Hellbeg. He is the foremost. He's one of the experts in safety for schools. He does the protocols. He actually did the protocol down in the one in Parkland. He went on his show and gave him all his evidence. So then Alex was like, judging from all this, it looks like it didn't happen. So then he came on the show. He's like, yeah, Sandy Hook's false. It didn't happen. That's what I mean. Alex Jones, what he does.
He's a Rush Limbaugh, a parody
No,
of himself.
What
really.
he is, he over sensationalizes a lot of stuff. But for a long time, I've known about him since 2003. He has always been the guy waving the anti-globalist and the anti-NWO flag, and for that, I like him.
And he likes tranny porn. I like him for that.
I don't know what the hell that was.
So does Lee Priest, apparently.
Of course. Mike Tyson.
Leonard sent me that video of Palumbo's interview with Lee
Oh, yeah.
Priest at the expo. I wish we would have
Yeah,
run
look
into
it
that
up.
fucking
Lee
guy.
Priest
Lee
is
Priest
nuts, isn't he?
responds.
He's the guy. He's got the
Fucking-
tattoo. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
hysterical.
He's your size.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's
He's
massive.
actually somebody in the industry that can take a fucking joke, roll
That's
with
cool.
it,
That's
be
cool.
honest.
Well, he got screwed.
He's
He got
actually
screwed
fucking
a
funny.
lot. Didn't he get screwed
Yeah.
in bodybuilding?
We were talking about it on my live earlier. I was saying, a while ago when I said I think he's an arrogant little prick, but now watching his shit, I like him. He's fucking funny.
Cool guy.
Yeah, he's fucking funny.
How old is he? Is he in his late
He's
40s?
he's almost my age.
Oh, yeah.
He was a freak.
He was
20s.
fucking massive.
And what did he believe in? Get big as fuck with the can of Kentucky Fried Chicken. He did all the sugary cereals. And he said he wouldn't even juice in the off season. He would stuff his face. He'd lift heavy because he was young. He would take juice just before a show to hold muscle while dieting. And he'd get in shape in 3-4 months. People would say you'll never make it. He'd fucking sit there and laugh at him.
He was a freak.
But that's a way to get big. I mean, Dale's, these guys staying close to their weight. You got to break scales because you're going to end up growing more muscle. When the thing is, when you diet down, you want to keep as much muscle as you can while slowly burning off the fat. But you're never going to get there unless you're, force feeding yourself.
You should get on with that iron debate with him on Palumbo's channel. That'd be good.
Yeah, he was going to go into detail about his best sex orgies and sexual experiences. I heard he had one girl shitting on him at one point. He didn't get into it. But
This is Priest.
Oh my god.
Falls under best or worst?
Allegedly.
it was funny. I don't want to ruin the video, but he said, what do you think about Lenny's porn tape? Palumbo asked him about drinking tranny, but he goes, that's normal. He's like, doesn't
Everybody's
everybody?
eating a shit sandwich from a tranny.
Doesn't everybody?
It sounds like you can get along with. That's pretty cool.
you see, he's a good guy.
Didn't he have it out with fucking Jason at some point? Like, didn't they have dueling videos?
He called Jason a retard.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's it.
I think every one of us.
I mean, I saw him.
Jason looks great. He's 235.
You think he looks great?
I think he's like a.
Was he getting fat
looks
again?
like you should look when you're in the off season.
No.
It's massive.
Jason
Is he still working?
He's a
out?
bull.
He never looks how you should fucking look.
He's a bull.
Yeah, but he doesn't work out properly.
He's got some muscle under there. You look at his calves and his thighs.
Not as much as he could have if he actually lifted properly.
I agree, but he looks great at that. His face, he looks younger.
Does he work out?
He looks
with you?
healthy.
Brad, does he work out with you? Like, is he there?
Yeah, but he only works out when the camera's on. That's
the way
when
he's
he'll
always
lift the
been.
weight.
Mark, you were massive at your height. You would be in and out as far as lifting in 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
4 days a week.
Just do the heavy
You
shit.
tear it down, and then your job is to eat consistently. Same times every day. Eat every 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's all.
You're on schedule.
You don't. Those guys in there 2 and 3 hours, and the guys doing all the supersets and drop sets every workout.
I mean,
and
I've
huffing
never-
and puffing. That
never
is not the way to an ideal body.
Is that like for competing to do like before a show? Is that what they do
No,
now?
it's you train the same, but you diet differently
Diet differently.
when you have a show, and you got to be careful with the cardio. You know, you end up like me. You legs really lose a lot of muscle.
Well, I saw it with you, your various shows, because obviously we train at the same gym. Like, at some points, like before the show, you actually looked better than during that night of the show.
Yeah.
Like, but it'd be like a week or two. So something was going on with the cardio or the dieting.
Too
It just
much. Not eating enough for my frame. Burning too many calories. My job was somewhat strenuous, like Brad's. I was on my feet all day. You know, I wasn't heat delivering mail, but I was on my feet all day.
Well, there's a show you did, I don't know how many years ago. It was in like West Palm Beach.
Yeah, I remember you guys.
It was one of the first
It was a
shows.
natural show.
I went to. You looked really good in that one, but it wasn't on video. No one got it on video.
Here's a few pictures. Yeah, it was massive, but it's a natural show. I weighed like 285, and the promoter's like, "What?" And it's like, he goes, "I'm glad you're a part of my show." I said, "Whatever."
A natural show?
Yeah,
And you
drug
didn't do
tested.
shit? Really?
Yeah,
You didn't do anything?
I was drug tested.
Up until what?
I did the show.
How far before do they test you?
They didn't test. That's the thing.
Oh my god!
It's just they write. I didn't know it was. I just want to do a show.
What a fucking
Boy,
joke.
I didn't know what it was, but that's the extent of the drug testing.
What was the one?
They don't test you.
They make it, yeah.
The videos. I don't know. Who
See
posted
how much that costs to do that kind of test?
Fuck, I know. Yeah.
Thousands.
Yep.
And
I
you
think
gotta
it's like
take it-
$1,200 a person.
You can't do a home
Wow.
test, kid. Those are bullshit. You got to send it to the International Olympic Committee testing
blood,
site in
blood
Indianapolis.
and urine.
Period.
Yeah.
Somebody did a video. I didn't watch it. I only saw it in like the feed. It's you and Kalora, that one show you did. And somebody did something. I didn't get a chance to watch it, where it said Lenny Kalora Olympia 2018 or something. So I don't know if someone edited a video and made like a story behind it with it, you and Andrew like supposedly competing in the Olympia. It's
With
somewhere on
your
YouTube.
old
The
your
one when
old
you were
footage.
massive, the two of them were
Yeah, watery.
massive. Yeah, but you were fucking gigantic in that video.
Well, that was 5-6 years of training together. Nothing but heavy and eating like pigs.
That right there, that
and
was
not any injuries yet, right?
We were both curling 2 plates.
that was a
Barbell curl.
WWE tag.
We were
team
skull
making.
crushing 2 plates, and Kalora was doing 275, which means 245s on an easy curl bar for 10. And he had 275 going to the nose, skull crushers.
No sleeves,
Squats,
no
he'd
wraps,
do
no
6
nothing.
plates, I do 5 plates, nothing.
That dude's a beast.
And we used to
He's
get
a
pissed
fucking
off.
beast.
I remember deadlifts. I should make an Instagram. We do our set of deadlifts in that corner, you know, screaming and yelling 6-7 plates. We drop the weight, and if we notice somebody looking at us through the mirror, we gasp for air, turn around, no matter who it was, whatever. What the fuck are you looking at? And they turn around and get scared. Just the thought that they were getting pleasure from us suffering and knowing our circumstances, where we would sit in his truck and we'd explain how miserable both of us were. You got no girl, no money, people calling us fat. And so, you know, what are we going to do when we get in that gym?
That's
was
for
our-
you.
It's not like Dale Chance primping and preening in his truck, putting his sunglasses on and taking selfies. No, it was like, you're a fat piece of shit, Lenny. You have no fucking girls. They all think you're disgusting and hairy. So one thing's for
Disgusting
certain,
and hairy.
all those pretty boys in there with those girls, they sure as fucking gonna lift the weight we're lifting. And it was that simple. I don't think Dale Chance ever walked into a gym with that type of mentality. Maybe a little primping and preening. Maybe a little Red Bull sipping. Or some of those sups he takes, but no type of aggressive type, motivation. I think I'm pretty spot on, Dale, unless you want to respond. I don't hear much of a response for you anymore.
He once told me that, or he told me, or Cornelia, I think it was Cornelius told me when he was here, or I don't remember who said it, that they play these in the gym.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And they all listen to it while they work out.
Care about all the cursing.
I think it was Dale who said it.
I think it's Cornelius's gym, so it doesn't
yeah.
matter. Yeah. And all the people there are pretty cool. From what you can see, he posts. So, what song do you want to go out with? It's getting late.
Mark,
I'm fucking hungry.
Before we do that, you and I were talking before Brad and Lenny got here. Do you have a message for Lenny you want to give him?
Lenny?
We're talking about Lenny's health and whatnot.
Yeah, Lenny, I've been around. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, but I've taken care of someone that had heart problems for almost 20 years. And I think you need to maybe go definitely get an MRI and see what's going on with your stomach and shit. I think that could help you out tremendously. What if they can drain some? What if there's a lot of fluid buildup?
It's funny you said
It will help your breathing. It would help a lot. It would
It's
help your
affecting my
heart, too.
breathing.
We were talking about that on the way to the gym, actually.
But I know I'm not the only one, but I think a lot of people are concerned for your overall
Yeah,
health.
it is. It does affect my breathing.
Just read the comments section of the Vegas videos.
Okay.
Because honestly, Lenny, I waited with my health problem when I was younger, and it cost me a lot of fucking time and a lot of misery. You can do things if you catch them before they flare up even worse, and hopefully you don't want to have an event and then something, God forbid, happens and it doesn't kill you, because then you're going to wish you were fucking dead. Because I lived with it. I saw it. I took care of it. It's not a pleasant thing. And you're healthy enough now to where you can maybe go take care of some of these things. I know you fucking hate the MRI. I hate MRIs too. I had to take one.
No, I flipped out the one for a reason.
Maybe
because of this condition, the MRI is almost out of...
Maybe there's something they can do, but you will never know until.
Aren't there open MRIs now?
I have no idea.
But at my size, man, they all...
But I mean...
I actually flipped out and pushed some people on their rear ends last MRI.
Well, think about it too. Think if you're able to take care of... Maybe you have something you can take care of. Maybe your stomach goes down quite a bit. You'd look even better. If you want to do a show, everyone would shit their pants if they came to the show and they saw you. They're like, whoa, what the fuck happened?
Well, he actually brought it up on the way to the gym today. I didn't even have to say anything about it, but you were telling what Tony Hughes was telling you about doing it too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So he was in the... Yeah, he's a pretty big dude.
Yeah, he is.
Fuck. I didn't know he was that tall, too. A big dude.
Yeah, a really fun guy to hang around with, always positive.
Yeah, but I mean, you're at the point now, obviously you had the heart scare. There's an issue there. I mean, if you keep letting it go, there's going to be a point where there's no, hopefully, fixing what you have. I mean, I went through it with my thing. It's not as bad as a heart problem, but I saw it with my father as well. And now is the time to try and go see what the fuck. Maybe they can do something for it. Because if they can help with your stomach, it will help everything else.
Yeah, I want to get it looked at, maybe an ultrasound, but it's going to be filmed and hopefully...
Maybe you have a blockage or something there.
Now that I'll go with you to film. The trannies, yeah. You might have to get another wingman for that.
Is there like I said, like a stand-up MRI or something?
Yeah, they have open MRIs. He could get one.
Try to find it. I mean, do you have insurance still?
Because if you're claustrophobic, you cannot go in the fucking
I had to sign up
He
for
can't fit in them anyway.
Obamacare, so it's...
I mean, all Obamacare is just the fucking insurance circuits.
Yeah.
Don't worry. If it covers it, and if you get a bill, you fucking do what you do with the rest of your hospital bills.
And my IRS bills.
What do you do with those?
Throw them in the trash.
Right. Right in the trash.
Put them in the shredder. No, but I mean, in all seriousness, I think everybody is concerned for your overall well-being. And also,
I'm concerned
Jay
for everyone
well.
else as well. I mean, and I think I helped a lot of people out. What they told me is to get rid of the cookie cutter mentality of doing things because other people do it because you see it advertised or you think it's fun. It's really not. You have to think for yourself.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I mean, like I said before, I mean, everyone's talking about gay rights and this and that. If you want to be a gay, be a nice looking tranny. That's my advice. Get yourself
What if they don't
top
want
of the line surgery and hormones and.
You should have the LBGTQ whatever
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
picketing in front of the hospital soon.
Well, they're picketing in front of my house soon because I don't like to see queers and bull dykes. Thank you very much.
And one last message again. Remember, Floridians, do not vote for Andrew Gillum. He's a socialist. Vote for DeSantis, or if you have to hold your nose and do it. You do not want a socialist running the good state of Florida. Thank you, and good night.
How about some G.G. Allen?
All right, everyone. Good night.